And it is National Championship Monday, and we're going to carry the game right here on San Diego Sports 760. But more importantly than any Padres storyline, more important than even the solar eclipse, which may actually end the whole planet. If you're paying attention to Twitter, there are a lot of people who think that this is the end of the world as we know it, and a prophecy will come true, and the gods from heaven will come down and shatter our mortality as we know it. But if you don't believe in that, and you do believe in other miracles, by some way, somehow, the three of us are back together in the same room.
Man, I got the eclipse glasses on that Fletch brought in. I can't see a gall darn thing.
Yeah, I'm going to wear these all show long. Don't expect me to read anything.
Man, it's going to be tough driving down to Whiskey Girl with my eclipse glasses on tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So we have a little viewing party down at the Whiskey Girl.
Not with these glasses
No.
on.
Nothing. We're not going to see much. But yeah, you're going to be seeing us. We're going to be at Whiskey Girl downtown, corner of G Street, in the gas lamp. They're going to have fun drink specials. We're going to do a little karaoke after we watch a little college hoops. Okay, yeah, that's what we call it these days. We're just going to watch a very important game that is going to be played between two basketball teams. How about that? At Whiskey Girl.
UConn and Purdue.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we could say UConn and Purdue. I didn't even know that. Okay, good.
Cool. Everything's great.
Yeah.
You got like a beaver shirt on.
Holy cow.
Oh, it's Bucky's. Or is it pronounced Bussies?
It's Bucky's. Guys.
It has everything. It's like Costco, Walmart, gas station. It literally has anything.
We the three of us, we may need to take a voyage to Texas together at some point, because
road trip.
I had one of the best times of my life out there.
Isn't Texas awesome?
It's
I went
so
for the
cool.
first time a year ago, and the culture, the barbecue, the gas stations, everything is a little bit
gas
bigger.
stations.
Dude, I'm telling you,
Dude.
the gas stations in Texas, are they not awesome?
Everything we've heard about Texas is true. Everything is bigger in Texas. Also, I went to Chip and Joanna Gaines' Magnolia in Waco, Texas.
Yeah. I heard about that.
Oh boy.
Wait, is that where the massive FBI shooting happened and the Colts and everything?
In Waco, yes. But we're past that. Now it's all about Chip and Joanna.
Quick time out. So I post on my Instagram story about how I'm down in Waco, Texas last week. And who reaches out to me in my DMs? Sarah Dale.
Slides into your DMs.
It's like, I am so jealous.
So I get a phone in my face of you at Magnolia, and I get
What is that?
that's Chip and Joanna Gaines from
It's from the
Fixer Upper.
Yeah, Fixer Upper. Thank you. Yeah.
So they flip houses, right? So they have their place there in Waco. They flip houses out in Waco, and their place in Waco, they bought these silos.
Yeah.
And they turned it into Magnolia Farms, and I believe they call it the silos.
They call
Magnolia.
it the silos, yeah.
Yeah, but so I get a phone in my face of Chip and Joanna out, or you out at Chip and Joanna's place, and she goes, "It was nice of Rich to take his family out to Magnolia." So, guys, I'm not going to be here for the rest of the week. I got to drive to Texas.
Yeah. So, Waco, I will say this about Waco. There is not a lot going on in Waco. And also, if there is a town where you could see a cult turning into a militia, it is also Waco, Texas. Now, it is the home to Baylor University. So there are some things going on. But Magnolia Farms, or the silos, whatever you want to call it, where the fixer-upper couple created this, what I would describe to as a compound. It's like this tourist compound.
What do they have there? I mean, like fixer-upper things and books and treats, I assume, that are baked there by Joanna's hands.
So anybody who's like confused as to what I'm talking about, if you've ever been to a Target, there's that home decor section that says Magnolia, right? That's where this comes from. So Magnolia is a brand that was based off of a show that these two home flippers created, and they're like huge in Waco, Texas. So yeah, there's a bakery there, but then you walk into like this warehouse style shop, which is basically that corner of Target except exploded. It's the size of a Costco. So everything it's like they have a whole section dedicated to decorative throw pillows, where me and Ann, I had no idea how long you could actually look at pillows, but apparently
hours.
You could spend a lot of time looking at throw pillows. And I'm just like, well, even if we buy one of these things, what are we going to do? How do we fit these in our carry-on? And she was just like, we could buy those space bags and we could suck all the air out of the throw pillows.
This is what I was told when I brought up that same problem of like, what are you going to do? What are you going to buy there once we get there? You ship it back.
Oh my God. I had the exact same conversation. Anyways, that was one part of it. Went to my first rodeo.
You can never say that again.
Yeah. That was actually my first rodeo. I also had barbecue several days. One of the times I had barbecue was right before the rodeo at the Fort Worth Stockyards at a place called Cooper's. The other time was at Buc-ee's, the gas station, which apparently has some of the best barbecue you could eat.
And shirts.
Yeah, I bought a shirt.
It's a good shirt.
I had a good time. Yeah.
Speaking of rodeo, we got a pair of tickets to the Lakeside Rodeo Thursday, April 25th, the 60th annual Lakeside Rodeo, Thursday, April 25th through Sunday, April 28th at the Lakeside Rodeo grounds. There's bull riding, steer wrestling, and exciting events all weekend long. Get tickets at lakesiderodeo.com or keep listening here for your chance to win those.
I'm super bummed. Usually I pour beer at that thing, and usually I pour beer on the Thursday night, which is what our tickets are for, but my cousin has a stupid wedding.
Oh, no.
This is going to be the first year I've missed the Lakeside Rodeo in like 3 years.
Wait, so you actually have gone?
I'm gone that weekend.
No. I mean, you've been to the rodeo before.
Oh, yeah.
He was
every year.
He's pouring C minuses last year.
Oh, wait, that's right. It was
I've been the last 3 years.
No,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, because Kendall works at, okay, yeah.
Do you wear a hat?
I mean, not a cowboy hat. I wear like this hat.
God, that's lame.
Dude, I bought a cowboy hat.
God dang it, man. I tell you what.
I did the whole show on Friday, and I completely forgot. I did the show Friday.
Did you have it like steamed and everything in front of you?
It was... No. I bought it off a rack. I know what you're talking about.
Where they shape it however you like. Dude,
I wish.
Fletch, I'm telling you, Rich, no matter what he puts on, it doesn't matter if it's a police outfit. It doesn't matter if it's Dr. Robotnik. It doesn't matter if it's a fake mustache. It doesn't matter if it's a cowboy hat. This guy looks good, man.
Tell you where
he
you're
looks
wrong.
Real good.
And what year did you play for the Cardinals?
I played 2012.
Well, in 2012, there's a picture of Rich Ohrnberger stretching on the sideline as an Arizona Cardinal, and it's maybe the worst picture of any human being ever taken.
Nah, that's my driver's license photo.
It's so bad.
My driver's license photo is horrific.
Is it really?
I mean, it's the worst.
Oh my God.
Like if you think I look like a thumb in real life, wait till you see this photo.
I just realized. Oh wow. Oh my God.
How did that even happen? Were they shooting it from below your neck?
Yeah, because so you know the camera's on like a rail.
Yeah.
Right. So it can't move left or right. It only goes up and down. She just left it on the counter and snapped the photo. And I was like, wait, you took it?
She's like, look up. This is what it looks like for anybody who's trying to. Okay, so imagine if instead of your face facing the camera is shooting from below your chin, and they just decided to draw a face under your chin. That's what it looks like.
Good. Real good.
You just reminded me. So I going through, there was an issue with my license at the airport. So going through security, they're having all sorts of trouble scanning it. And I have clear. So I was going through on the clear side. Anyways.
Think you're better than us?
No. We signed up for it one time because there was
TSA pre-check. Screw that. I need clear.
Yeah. Well, I think pre-check is better. I don't know what's better. I remember one time we were flying as a family out to the East Coast. We had to buy clear because we were going to miss our flight. Otherwise, we would have had to stay in like an hour-long security line. Anyways, I go through that side. They let me through. And when you're clear, you could just walk through security. Like you drop your bags on, you don't open anything, you keep your shoes on, you keep your jacket on, you just walk through the metal detector and you get on your flight. Well, I'm sitting at a bar watching the women's Final Four between Iowa and UConn. This has never happened before. I've never even seen this at an airport. This security guard walks up to me and goes, "Oh my God, thank God we found you." I go, excuse me? I was like, are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? And he goes, yeah, I'm halfway through a burger. I've got a beer in front of me. I'm like, so what can I help you with? And he was like, you need to come with me. I'm like, what? Where do I got to go? I'm at Dallas Love Airport. He's like, no, you got to come with me right now. And so he's sweating, by the way. So I'm like, okay. The guy I'm talking with sitting next to me at the bar, he's just like shocked. He was like, I'm sitting next to a criminal. I'm like, and so I'm like, can I finish eating? And he was like, no. And I'm like, could you tell me anything else? He goes, yeah, there was a problem at security. You have to come with me right now. So I'm like, okay. So I grab my beer and I slam it.
Good.
And foremost,
Yeah, good.
I
Important.
and then the lady, actually, the waitress, she gives me a box to put my burger in. And so the only thing he told me is like, look, there was just a problem with security. You just have to go back through. So I'm thinking I'm about to go into some back room and he's going to give me the rubber glove treatment. Turns out I'm not clear anymore. Like whatever expired, or there was an issue with the license, or I wasn't. Like they walked me all the way back to security just to take my shoes off and my jacket off. I was like, hey guys, we did it. We solved the crisis. Now can I go back? And said, I come back 15 minutes later. The guy I was sitting next to, he was like, how you doing? He's like, you sure you're going to be able to sit down? I'm like, I will be all right. Wise ass. Anyways, so that was the trip in a nutshell. I'm glad to be back.
I'm happy you're back.
Yeah.
Fletch, happy to have you back as well. You had a little surgery. You feeling all right? You got the boot now?
Yeah, the drugs are funny because I didn't really think they were doing anything to me at home, but right now I feel like they're doing something to me.
Yeah, it's better at work. Drugs at work is usually what we do for Thursdays.
Right.
But yeah.
No, this is good. This is good.
I'm a little sweatier than normal. I'm not really putting together super coherent
Good
thoughts.
God.
See, what's crazy about that is your nickname in high school basketball was Puddles. So the fact that you're sweatier than normal.
There's a baseline sweaty, and I think I'm beyond that.
Wow.
I bet Kendall's so happy.
No, she's so sick of it, dude. Remember we were talking about the other day, like, Rich, when you had surgeries, at what point did Annie get to the point of like, oh, I don't feel bad for you anymore, start doing stuff? Kendall hit that point big time.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
And it comes in waves. Because you'll get some sympathy at times. Like, if you bump into something and you hurt whatever it is you're injured, you realize like, oh no, they still care about me. But then it fades very quickly. It's like, okay, I guess I'll get up and do the dishes again.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I can't do things right now. Like, I can't get up and walk around the house or walk out to take a poop. I can't. I physically cannot do that stuff right now.
You got a scooter.
I do. And Brock likes to pull me on that scooter, and it's very scary. And so I try to do it, but nothing is like easy for me right now. And Kendall is beyond the point of like, oh, I feel bad for you. It's okay. Just sit on the couch. And it's gone to the point of, I have to do your laundry again. Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it is. It's only going to get worse before it gets better. So batten down the hatches, buckle up, buddy. So you're less than a week out from serious leg surgery. What did they do to your leg?
So Kendall was the one that got all the information. I'm not entirely sure she understood it correctly, but it sounds like there's 2 plates in my leg.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The 2 big screws did not have to go through.
Got it.
Which was the question going in, whether or not they were going to have to do that. But so 2 plates, lots of pain, like worse than when you break your ankle. The surgery's worse, and now I'm feeling okay. Next week I get the more comfortable boot. Hopefully I can start walking in like 2 weeks.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we need to mend some bones, buddy. Drink your milk.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'll stick to White Monster.
But with a boot on, tonight at Whiskey Girl, you can be scooting.
And singing.
Boot scooting.
Yeah. And
I was actually thinking about my karaoke song. I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
Maybe you should sing something by Brothers Osborne, because we have a pair of tickets to see the Brothers Osborne at Cal Coast Credit Union Amphitheater. That's going to be May 29. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com, or keep listening for your chance to win those tickets as well. Okay, so we have talked zero sports, and we've been paid to talk sports, so let's get to some sports. Where do you guys want to head first? You want to hit Halfy? Let's do that. Oh, I got a lot for you. Okay, so in women's college hoops, yesterday we have a national champion. South Carolina knocked off Iowa 87-75. Iowa took the lead in the first quarter. Caitlin Clark roared out the gates, but South Carolina took control of the game from there. Hawkeyes stand out. Caitlin Clark had 30 points. This is her final college basketball game. She heads to the WNBA draft. She's presumed to be the first pick there. South Carolina head coach Dawn Staley thanked her post-game in her speech for, quote-unquote, lifting up the sport. John Calipari is no longer Kentucky's head men's basketball coach. He goes across the SEC to Arkansas, finalizing a 5-year contract to replace Eric Musselman in Fayetteville. So huge news in men's college hoops.
Poor Muss.
Also in men's hoops, we have Purdue taking on UConn tonight for the national championship game. Tip off at 6:20. You can hear all the action here on your home of college basketball in San Diego Sports 760. Also, we had the Padres yesterday. They lose to the San Francisco Giants 3-2. Third baseman Matt Chapman for the Giants. He drove in 2 runs, including the go-ahead run in the 8th. They come back and beat the Pods. This was the Giants' first series win. Another series loss for the Padres. They host the Cubs tonight at 6:40. First pitch at Petco Park. Thoughts on the game, thoughts on the weekend against the Giants?
You blow a perfect offensive game by Jackson Farrell Merrill.
I know.
How dare you?
4 for 4.
4 for 4.
He's hit like 324.
He's sick.
I mean, early returns.
What the hell is
I'm
going
wrong.
on?
Early returns on Jackson Merrill, and I'm happy to be wrong. I said that at the time. Yesterday's game was so frustrating because now that's 2 games this early in the season that you've blown with defense.
Yeah.
And that's just not something we were thinking about with this Padres team coming in. And yesterday was Ha-Seong Kim, who had like 7 errors all of last year. Every run the Giants scored yesterday came because of a Ha-Seong Kim error.
He's
so
done.
in
He's
3
done.
games this weekend, Padres gave up 3 earned runs in 3 games and only win 1 of them.
Ooh, that's
Jeez.
a bad stat. I didn't read that one.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Well, when you have errors in bad situations, that's what happens, because those unearned runs, I mean, they'll get you just as bad as the earned ones. Great pitching doesn't mean you're going to have wins. And that's the unfortunate reality usually of starting rookies, for example, like Farrell Merrill out in the outfield, but you don't expect it from Ha-Seong Kim. Look, the one thing I will say, if there is a problem with this, it's a good problem to have because he'll clean it up.
Yeah.
He's a gold glove winner for a reason. It'll be fine with Ha-Seong Kim unless he's having a complete freak out, which I don't really forecast. This is what I think about the Padres so far this season. And now we have 10, 11 games played?
12.
7 plus 5, whatever that is.
Yeah, 12. Okay, yeah.
Good.
So
because they're 5 and
That
7.
amount.
that amount of games. To me, with this chunk of games, they are eerily similar to last year.
Yep. Yeah.
They seem like a team that can win. They have all the ingredients to win. Yesterday, Matt Waldron looked good on the mound. What did he have? Like 5 strikeouts. He held up. It was a 6-inning performance. It was good, or some part of 6 innings.
5 2/3, and he was honestly great.
Yeah, it just fell apart for them. Very similar to how it has many times last year, and then a bunch of times already this season.
Yeah, and then the top of the lineup got a couple hits yesterday, just not enough to knock people around the bases. And I mean, you're right, Rich. It does kind of feel like deja vu. We're almost looking at the same team we looked at from last year, where we're going, well, they have to turn this around, right? There's too much talent on this team.
Yeah, but there isn't this year.
Well,
like
there
there's less
still
talent.
is, though.
There is. You're right. And yesterday there was a lot of complaining from Padres fans about either Mike Schilt's handling of the bullpen, which there was question marks about whether Johnny Brito should have been in that situation, or they should have stuck with someone else. But then there were a lot of complaints about Ha-Seong Kim's glove. And like, yes, both those things are part of the reason why they lost, but the real reason they lost is this offense is not putting up enough runs. So you get a pitching performance, you only allow 3 runs in a game. That should be enough for this Padres team to win a lot of games. But if you're only scoring 2 runs a game, man, that's all it takes. It's like, that's going to be the losing season.
Yeah, you're right. What astonishes me, though, is we talk about the level of talent on the team. If you took this whole team, you picked them up and you stuck them in Kansas City. I mean, Kansas City, the city itself would be erupting in joy with the amount of superstars that just came into town. So they'd have the same feeling we had at the start of last season, but now we're jaded.
Yeah, expectations do that. Expectations create a situation where you want to see the team perform to a standard, whether or not it's a real standard or an imaginary one. Collectively, I think we all believe the Padres should be better than they are. Better than a 5-7 baseball team right now. Certainly.
It should be flipped at least.
Yeah. Like 7-5. That's exactly right. They should at least be cruising at a 500 or better level to start this season. It doesn't feel like anybody they've faced so far outside of maybe the Dodgers, who they split with, as a team that they can't beat.
Well, they faced the Giants twice now, two series.
Yeah.
So they've seen the Giants and the Dodgers, and they have not won a series yet, boys.
Yeah, not ideal. Okay, look, we've got to get into something that everybody was participating in, it felt like yesterday, and certainly with the Final Four. The women's college basketball national championship game was yesterday afternoon. Droves, and I mean droves of people are watching women's college basketball. So we'll get into that game, specifically Caitlin Clark and the legacy she leaves. Also, we're going to ask our talkbackers. So if you're listening to the show, free iHeartRadio app, there's a little microphone button next to the play button if you're listening to the show. We're going to be singing karaoke tonight, and so are you.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to win those Brothers Osborne tickets, this is very simple. All you got to do is press that talkback button and tell us the name of the song you're going to attempt to sing karaoke style to, and go ahead and belt it out. The best singer wins the Brothers Osborne tickets.
It doesn't have to be a Brothers Osborne song, though, does it?
No.
Whatever song you want.
Pick whatever song you want.
Pick your karaoke song.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their karaoke.
You got your go-to.
You know what my go-to was? My go-to was moon pies, ding dongs, Twinkies.
Been there.
My go-to was those cupcakes.
Sounds like you're writing a poem right now.
Swirly icing. My go-to was chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. My go-to was, I don't know, Cheetos, Fritos, delicious fried foods.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I met Wayne and Chloe TV. We met Wayne and Chloe, and everything changed.
It absolutely did. And you know what is interesting is, as you mentioned all that, the same here, man. Same here. Loved all the sugary, sweet baked goods, and it was almost like an addiction. Like I didn't think I was going to be able to stop eating this stuff because we tried. We tried the fad diets. They didn't work. It didn't work. We lost a few pounds. Then we ended up gaining more back than we lost, and that wasn't the correct way to go. Then Wayne and Chloe step in at ST Fat Loss. They tell us, hey, you're going to lose 20 to 30 pounds in 8 weeks time. We all went, sure. Yeah. Definitely.
You bet.
Yeah,
you betcha.
And then they said, look, we don't even want you to talk about ST Fat Loss until you've at least dropped 10 pounds. And about a week in, I think it was about 5 days, actually, we all sent the emails of like, did it, done. We followed your plan and we lost 10 pounds. And you start to feel so much better right away. Things start to feel better. And then you start to realize, hey, you know what? Getting a little smaller around the neck. You know what? All of a sudden I can see a cheekbone a little bit. Wow, what? I do have a nose under all that big fat face. But, look, we did. In 8 weeks time, 31 pounds for me, 35 plus for Rich, Fletch pushing 40 plus, right? Almost 50 pounds lost now with ST Fat Loss. And my sister-in-law came into town over the weekend. She comes up to me and says, hey, look, my husband, Chris, he wants to lose some weight as well. ST Fat Loss, does he have to be in San Diego? Because they're up in the Fresno area. And I was like, no. STFatLoss.com. Go there right now. You can schedule a free consultation with Wayne and Chloe. They will walk you guys through exactly how to lose weight, the healthy way to lose weight to get you guys ready for summer, because they're like, look, we want to be sitting by the pool, man. We want to be looking trim. We're going to be looking good this summer. And I said, you're damn right. Well, start right now, because in 8 weeks time, it's summertime, baby.
Damn
so,
right.
So drop that weight off. Do it the healthy way with ST Fat Loss, STFatLoss.com. Schedule your free consultation today. the women's NCAA championship, and Caitlin Clark's legacy. We'll talk about it next.
This update is presented by Duffy Power Services. We'll start off here with the Padres. Tough weekend as they drop 2 out of 3 to the Giants in San Francisco. Yesterday, Padres had the lead in the 8th inning. Before a Ha-Seong Kim error, Padres now head back home today to start 3-game series with the Chicago Cubs. College hoops, it all leads to this. Tonight, it's the national championship game. It's UConn. It's Purdue at 6:20. You can join us down at Whiskey Girl tonight in the Gas Lamp. We're going to be watching the game, singing some karaoke, and giving out a bunch of prizes. And in golf, Tiger Woods is back. His eyes just set on another green jacket. He gets ready for the Masters, which tees off this week at Augusta. Whether from El Nino rainstorms or summer heat waves, the threat of power outages has never been greater. The generator experts at Duffy Power Services are here to help. With the largest fleet of rental generators in Southern California, Duffy's team knows how to keep your business's power on, rain or shine. Go to duffypower.com.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, the band back together again, all in one room building, essentially, as Fletch is in the control room. You know.
Hi.
Yeah. Behind glass, where you should be. Big night tonight. We've talked about it a couple times here, but we really, really would love to see you come on down. Join us at the Whiskey Girl downtown, right in the heart of the Gas Lamp, right on the corner of G Street, 702 5th Avenue, if you'd like to write down that address. We're going to be down there at about 6 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
That's the time we're rolling in. Tip-off for that game is 6:20. And after the game, we're going to be doing a little karaoke. Plus, we got a whole bunch of giveaways to do. Goals tickets we're going to be giving out. Whiskey Girl has a bunch of tickets they're going to be giving out. They've got food and drink specials, bucket and draft beer specials, tequila specials. We may have to try all of that.
I'm pretty sure we will. Yeah, those goals tickets, we're going to have 5 4-packs of goals tickets to Fan Appreciation Night over at Pechanga Arena. They have all sorts of awesome promotions over there at Pechanga on Fan Appreciation Night. So I'm looking forward to giving those out. Hot ticket in town to get to the goals. My neighbor's always at Pechanga going and seeing hockey.
Nice.
You know, it's crazy. It's San Diego. Like it's a coastal desert. You don't think hockey.
It's coastal desert where the oak trees grow.
Yeah.
Because they drop acorns.
And then all of a sudden you're just hiking in the desert with your dog Brock. And damn it, if you don't slip on an acorn and smash your ankle in 2 places.
God, it's
I haven't seen you guys in like
tail.
5 days.
Tale as old as time.
And we got 30 minutes into the show.
I'm sorry. Honestly, I
It
was
says it
thinking
in the
about
bio.
you. While I was in Texas and I was having fun eating barbecue, all I could think of was Fletch and if he was okay. I kept thinking
I wasn't.
he wasn't okay.
Not good. Not good.
And I never asked him. And I wish I did. And now I feel guilty about that.
We checked it a couple times.
That's true. Actually,
Although,
yeah.
It was like at the end of every night, Sarah, my wife, would go, "How's Ben doing?" And I'd be like, good, I think.
It's so
Text
crazy.
him real quick.
Ann asked the same thing. She was like, so like, what did they do? I was like, well, I don't know. I was like, they fixed it. And she was like,
plates and screws.
Well, like, how did they fix it? That's what I said. I was like, plates and screws, just like Fletch told me a week ago. She was like, wait, so you didn't ask him after his surgery, like what they did? I was like, nah. She was like, why not? I was like, well, I'll see him Monday. She was like, aren't you curious? I was like, yeah. And she was like, so you didn't ask him? I was like, no, I did not. She's like, I don't get you. I was like, well, there's not a lot to get.
That's what I thought.
Just basically a hamster running on a giant wheel inside my brain right
Well,
now.
I'm fine, guys.
Damn near
Thanks.
the same conversation at my house every single night last week. But now I can report back that Fletch is fine. He's got a boot.
Yeah, and they didn't have to do the middle screw
Yeah,
thing.
they didn't have to do the long screws. Remember I was telling you about that?
So we had a national championship. We have a national championship tonight on the men's side. Purdue taking on UConn. And again, we're going to be celebrating at our viewing party. However, last night, or I should say yesterday afternoon,
Weird start time.
It's like a nooner.
Yeah, weird start time.
We have South Carolina take on Iowa for the women's college basketball final, and South Carolina runs away with it. But yeah, weird tip-off time. It's like people were still like coming in from mowing their lawns on the West Coast.
It's like the most popular women's basketball has ever been. Most people ever, I think it was the highest rated or women's basketball matchup period on ESPN was the Final Four. And so you get to the national championship game and you're thinking these numbers are going to be outrageous. And you start it in the middle of the day. It was just odd to me.
Yeah.
Fletch, you are a college basketball nut.
Yeesh.
Did you watch this game?
Oh, yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I had this game and the Padres game kind of going simultaneously on different screens in the house. Yeah, I watched so many sports this last week.
Yeah, that's good. I watched the last minute of the third, and then the last minute of the game. So pretty good.
That's all you really needed.
Yeah,
it's weird because at the start of the game, you kind of thought Iowa or Caitlin Clark was just going to completely run away with this thing on her own shoulders.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like South Carolina's talent just took over. Because you can't really win basketball with one player, even though that's exactly what Caitlin Clark has been doing for most of her career.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I thought this was later in the day, so I was busy doing other things. So I was distracted and didn't get to tune in to watch it. So I was a little bummed. But when I tuned in and saw that South Carolina had the lead, I was shocked.
Dude, yeah.
I was shocked.
Well, if you were paying attention at all to the women's bracket, it wouldn't shock you that South Carolina was leading. But if you were paying attention to the news, like Caitlin Clark was the news. Now, this is coming from a guy who's caught up on the fly. I was not paying attention to the women's bracket at all. I was paying attention to the men's bracket. But then all of a sudden, I saw the numbers from the LSU victory Iowa had in the Elite Eight. I was like, oh my God, like 12 million people tuned in to watch that game.
And ESPN has had NBA games going since like 2002. And on what was the Final Four, the matchup between Iowa and I can't remember who they played, UConn. Between Iowa and UConn was the highest rated basketball game ESPN has ever had.
Most watched women's college basketball game on record ever, 14.2 million viewers. It peaked at 17 million viewers. Wow. ESPN's highest audience for any basketball game on record. ESPN's second best non-football telecast ever. Most viewed college event ever on ESPN+. So it was a banner day for ESPN, banner day for women's college sports in general, but specifically basketball. And it's crazy numbers. Those are NFL numbers. 14 to 17 million, like a Thursday night Amazon game is pretty lucky if they get 14 to 17 million people tuning in. It's crazy. That is bonkers. So I started paying closer attention to this. I don't really love women's college basketball. It's not my thing. I need to acquire a taste for it if I'm going to have a taste for it at all. I didn't love even watching the national championship game, and I watched the entire thing yesterday. But this is growing in popularity, and it is becoming something. Now, I don't know if it's a one-off because of Caitlin Clark. What do you guys think? I mean, is this going to fade back into the background, or has Caitlin Clark ushered in a new era of fan interest in this sport?
Well, I think that Caitlin Clark raises the bar, not just for fan interest, but raises the bar for the level of play in college basketball, women's college basketball. So I think that she will be inspiring. I think that other players will step up and start to move through the ranks and play more like Caitlin Clark. I mean, will they have that level of talent? Probably not. I mean, she's maybe a phenom here, and I'm sure there will be others. Records are made to be broken. We'll see it happen. But I think this carries on. I don't know if it carries on to the WNBA. I don't know if maybe the first couple games people tune in because they want to see Caitlin Clark out there succeed. But I don't know if it carries on and the numbers continue to grow. But look, if you get more people tuning into a sport, if you get more people turning the channel and seeing it, chances are you're going to keep some of those people in the net that you cast.
The NBA really struggled before Michael Jordan came around. Like they didn't get nearly the amount of viewers they got since Michael Jordan was a player. Golf didn't have anything going for them before Tiger Woods came around. And then all of a sudden, golf was one of the leading broadcasts in all of TV because Tiger Woods was there. He's going to be there again this week, by the way. Can't wait. But women's college basketball was unheard of outside of people knew about UConn. And Gino, however you say his last name.
REM.
That's the one. But women's college basketball, UConn was the only story. Maya Moore for a while was a superstar in college basketball for the women's side, and that was entertaining. But Caitlin Clark is something different entirely, and I think it's fair to compare her to a Michael Jordan or a Tiger Woods in terms of getting people to the TV, because that's exactly what she did. 14 to 17 million viewers is no joke, and it's not something to be taken lightly. Will they ever get back to that? No, but there's going to be a carryover effect of women's college basketball remaining popular through the years because of what Caitlin Clark has done in her 4 years at Iowa, of all places.
I'm curious. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if I agree that it's going to remain as popular, because I do think having a player that stands alone at the tippy top of the mountain and for 2 years, like she was great last year, and that's when the story began. And then with all the fame and attention, it didn't fade. Like she was able to handle the spotlight so much so that in a win as a national championship winning coach, Dawn Staley postgame, she's given her interview on the court. I mean, now she could talk about her players. She could talk about the Gamecocks and how they came back after being down in the first quarter. And she could talk, I mean, for hours, I'm sure, about all that. But who does she thank on the court? She thanks Caitlin Clark. So she finishes there with one of the GOATs of our game. That was a very carefully crafted statement. And you could tell she paused because she wasn't sure if she wanted to go there. Is she the greatest of all time, in your opinion?
In women's college basketball or women's basketball?
In women's college basketball, like, is she the greatest of all time? Here's my problem with saying that she's the greatest of all time. And I'm sure this is going to be debated and discussed. She didn't win a championship. And I know that that's not everything, but I'll give a comparison that makes sense to me. Tom Brady's the GOAT in the NFL, right?
Right.
Is he the most talented quarterback who's ever played in the NFL?
Not even close.
No. I would put Aaron Rodgers ahead of him. I would put Patrick Mahomes ahead of him. Like he's not the most talented, gifted, skillful player, but he's the greatest of all time because he has 7 rings, because he won 6 of them with one franchise and transformed the franchise, and then went to another franchise and won in his first year. He won a Super Bowl with the Bucs his first year there. So he's the GOAT, not for the reasons of individual statistical achievements, but because of team-wide success. Caitlin Clark, she's a record smasher, but she's not the GOAT because she doesn't have a championship.
Yeah, but to the average person or the average watcher of women's college basketball, ask them to name another player.
That's where it would get tricky. Now, the craziest stats come out of all of this is Caitlin Clark in this season scored more points, and it was something like 1,400, whatever, than the Iowa football team has scored in the last 4 years combined.
Just so bad.
Punt gods, baby. That's Iowa.
Punt God. All right, coming up next, we'll put this one on the side burner for a little bit. You can mull that if you want. Get to the men's college hoops national championship game between UConn and Purdue tonight. You could also listen to that here on 760, tip off at 620. But let's talk about this, really important to our community. The San Diego Giving Back Raffle is a great way to give back to an important community resource while gaining a chance to win one of thousands of prizes. This is seriously awesome, guys. So support Ronald McDonald House, and your child could win, or excuse me, you could win multi-million-dollar historic home right across the street from Balboa Park in San Diego. Your giving back could gain you even more. It's a true win-win for you and your family and for the organization. So Ronald McDonald Houses help keep families close to their hospitalized children. This one in particular, it's located 300 steps from our local children's hospital, and they provide overnight lodging, warm meals, and other programs and services to support families during their time of medical crisis. Volunteerism, in-kind donations, and contributions through fundraisers like San Diego Giving Back Raffle represent the very best our community has to offer. And it's good for you too, because the fundraisers have helped throughout the year build the San Diego home, and in return, San Diego Ronald McDonald has awarded more than $30 million in prizes to participants just for choosing to give back. So tickets start at $150 each, and this has been going on for 20 years now. This year celebrates the 20th anniversary. So it's a great way to give back, great way to win prizes. You're going to have your opportunity at 20 days of $20,000 prizes this summer, leading up to awarding the biggest prizes on July 25th of this year. Every raffle supporter is guaranteed to win a prize in the grand prize drawing. So again, it's a San Diego Giving Back Raffle. If you want to participate, the time is now. Again, the San Diego Giving Back Raffle. Coming up next, we have our national championship breakdown, which will be heard right here on this station. That's on the other side. Big Rich, TDM, Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. We have a national championship game tonight. UConn, Purdue. We also look skyward as the moon passes in front of the sun around 11 o'clock this morning. So if you don't have the eclipse glasses, I suggest you get some. Fletch went somewhere, and he got us these little paper glasses.
There's nothing written in English on these glasses. Are we sure that they're certified that we can stare at the sun?
Try to read, I dare you.
Estos no son gafas de sol.
That means you can look right at the sun and be okay.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it says.
I feel like it says, don't look at the sun.
Speaking of college basketball, we have a viewing party at the Whiskey Girl tonight where they have awesome drink specials, corner of G Street and 5th, right downtown in the Gas Lamp. So if you want to join us to watch some college hoops tonight, please do. Also, we're going to be singing karaoke after. So that gave us this idea. If you want to win the Brothers Osborne tickets for that show coming up here in San Diego, it's very simple how you participate, how you compete for these tickets. You just have to simply use the talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. You click the microphone button and just tell us the song title you want to sing. Doesn't have to be a Brothers Osborne song. And whatever your karaoke song is, and just belt it out right into the app. And it sends us the voicemail. We can play it on the air. So coming up later in the show, we're going to have our karaoke competition from our listeners, and we're going to play maybe the top 3 that we get.
I like it.
And then it'll all come down to our decision making. We'll just decide who's best.
It's going to be tough to top the one we already got. You know who you are out there. It was the most beautiful rendition of a Chuck Berry classic.
So good.
I can't wait to play it.
Estos no son gafas de sol means these are not sunglasses.
Well, yeah, that's very clear. If you try to drive in these, you would crash immediately.
It's not going to be fun.
Cannot see through them.
It's going to be fun.
Okay, so Purdue, UConn. UConn prohibitive favorite. They're almost 10-point favorites that were, I guess it was 6.5 yesterday. They've romped the field on their way to the national championship game. Zach Edey, though, is a 2-time player of the year in college basketball. He plays for the Boilermakers. What say you guys, especially you, Fletch? I know you follow college basketball closer than any of us. Does Purdue have any chance tonight?
So I was watching the UConn-Alabama game over the weekend in the Final Four, and it was kind of the same story that UConn's been doing to everybody, except Alabama seemed like they were holding on a little bit better. And so instead of it becoming halftime as a close game and then UConn pulling away, it got to about 5 minutes left in the game, and it was a really close game, and Alabama looked like they were fighting. But the entire time, I just kept telling Kendall, just wait. UConn's going to go on their run. And then sure enough, within the last 5 minutes of the game, it's not even close at the end. Was it a 17-point victory? Like, it was damn near 20 again.
86-72.
That's what they do. I don't think Purdue stands any sort of chance in this one. I think UConn can really walk all over them. The one advantage Purdue's had over everybody is Zach Edey's so tall. He's 7'4". Well, UConn has a 7'2" guy as their second best player on their team.
8 minutes left in the game. Alabama, UConn, 56-56. And then all of a sudden it happened. UConn pulled away. And the gap widened, and
Donovan Clingan was playing terrible pretty much the entire game. And then all of a sudden, 8 minutes left, he goes on like a 5-0 run by himself, and then UConn just starts making threes, and it's over.
Yep.
Vegas has Connecticut by 7.5 here.
So it's gone up.
They win by 10. Yeah.
I expect it to grow more before game time.
Yeah, more and more money. You cannot put a high enough number on UConn this entire bracket. UConn has been, flooded with public money the entire way. By the way, Vegas kind of needs UConn to win because I think they take a bath on the money line if Purdue wins and from futures bets and stuff like that. But still, there's so much public money on UConn that they have to keep raising these spreads in favor of UConn. Look, I think you're right, Fletch. I agree with both of you. They're so dominant. I think they win by double digits.
Yeah. I do like the fact we got a 1 seed versus a 1 seed, though.
Oh, I hate that.
Why?
It feels so yucky.
Yeah, but you know what I like about it is when UConn wins, and Rich talked about this last week, when UConn wins, that justifies the Aztecs losing to
for
UConn.
sure. Because UConn's been beating everybody by a ton.
And they beat the best. They beat the number one.
Yeah.
I mean, if they win tonight.
Yeah. I like that. I do like that. And when we lost in the playoffs, I always started rooting. This isn't football, but I always started rooting for the team that beat us. And like, I would always say the same thing to guys who I would congratulate on the opposite teams. Like, all right, now go win it all. Because if you're going to beat us, go, like, at least justify our losing to you by going and being the best out here in the field. And so right now I'm a UConn fan. Now
I can't do it.
I'm not going to say that after this game.
I hate Dan Hurley so much.
Dude, and by the way, you said that right before you left for your surgery and it like planted a little seed. I'm like, you know what? I should look into Dan Hurley because the guy's a phenomenal coach.
I can't stand him.
We talk about Brian Dutcher in such glowing light here. I'm going to check out Dan Hurley. Dude, I cannot stand Dan Hurley.
Did you see him? Okay, in the Alabama game, there was a moment in the game where there was a travel called on UConn that was kind of questionable, and they went to Dan Hurley's face. It was like a close-up, slow-mo shot of Dan Hurley's face, and he looked like a 3-year-old that you just took away their pudding from. He was like, are you kidding me?
He just grinds my gears. I feel like, dude, there was a point in the Final Four game, UConn, NC State, where one of his players, I think it was, I forget who it was, but somebody hit a 3 and he turns around from the bench and he signals 3 that, you know, he has his middle finger, his ring finger and his pinky finger, like giving the AOK sign, but 3 fingers up facing the crowd. Like, that's right. We did it. I'm just like, oh, I want to strangle him. Oh my God.
Also sad NC State story comes to an end. I love DJ Burns and he just was so outmatched and overpowered by Zach Edey the entire game. It's like DJ Burns, you could tell after the first half, he was gassed. He had nothing left to give, and he was playing defense on Zach Edey. And I felt bad for NC State because, like, the horse they rode the entire way to get through to this point in the season had nothing to give in the second half.
It was all
what happens when you're fat.
Jeez, so
DJ,
rude.
DJ need to talk to Wayne and Chloe.
He needs to go to the NFL.
Yeah. Oh yeah, which by the way, there's interest.
Well, yeah,
there's interest.
They asked him about it in a post-game presser last week, and they said, "What's your interest level?" And he said, 0.
Yeah,
he wants to go to the NBA.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Easier to make a boatload of money and not be that good. In
not
the NFL,
not even have to play.
I know. In the NFL, you have to be like really good to make a lot of money.
And also, they're gonna make him an offensive tackle.
Yeah.
It's like, so you're gonna be like, here, on a lark, we're gonna have you eat thousands of cheeseburgers and gain even more weight than you're at currently, and maybe you'll be good enough to like crack a starting roster.
Remember how you never hit your head in basketball? Prepare for it every other minute.
You're gonna be doing that the rest of your life. Good luck. All right. Well, speaking of football, since we got from the hardwood to the playing field, let's talk about a couple new wrinkles in this Stephon Diggs storyline. So he gets traded from the Bills to the Texans, and we thought the story was over there. Not so fast. There's a lot more that's come out. Also, morning monologues. Also, your talkbacks. We're playing karaoke today for those Brothers Osborne tickets. So if you want to win those, use the talkback feature. It's a little microphone button on the free iHeartRadio app. Record yourself singing karaoke. You can win Brothers Osborne tickets. More Big Rich, Didi, and Fletch coming up. San Diego Sports 760.
This update is presented by Duthie Power Services. Started off this morning with the Padres. Tough weekend. They dropped 2 out of 3 to the Giants in San Francisco. Yesterday, Padres had the lead in the 8th inning before a Ha-Sung Kim error. Padres heading back home today. They got a 3-game series with the Chicago Cubs. In college hoops, it all leads to this tonight, the national championship game between UConn and Purdue at 6:20. You can join us down at Whiskey Girl tonight in the Gas Lamp. We're going to be watching the game, singing some karaoke, and giving out prizes. And in golf, Tiger Woods is back. His eyes are set on another green jacket. He gets ready for the Masters, which tees off on Thursday at Augusta. Weather from El Nino, rainstorms, or summer heat waves, the threat of power outages has never been greater. The generator experts at Duthie Power Services are here to help with the largest fleet of rental generators in Southern California. Duthie's team knows how to keep your business's power on, rain or shine. Go to DuthiePower.com.
Happy Monday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you.
What'd you just do?
What's that?
You were filming me during my update. What were you
Oh,
filming?
no. We were reading comments on the video you sent.
Sorry, I was showing him the comments as I was reading them on that video you sent us.
Because of boobs.
Because of boobs. So TikTok, we play a game on TikTok called How Many Swipes to a Butt. Recently, boobs have come into fashion.
Yeah, you know what? I've gotten a lot less butt on TikTok and a lot more butt on Instagram.
True. So Instagram Reels saw what TikTok did, and they went, we're about to double down on butt cheeks.
Focus on butts.
So anytime I click on that little magnifying glass icon at the bottom of the page on Instagram, I get butts. That's all I see in the search bar.
Right.
It's just butts. Explore page.
Fine.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what you want me to look at, Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna force my hand, I guess so. So there's that. But boobs have become a lot more, I guess, feed worthy, for your page worthy on TikTok. So we'll keep you updated on that.
Yeah. Thank God.
You're welcome. You're welcome, world. Speaking of the world, our world is going to be on one end. The sun is on the other, passing in between the moon.
Yeah.
So the moon is about 400 times closer to Earth than the sun is. And the sun is almost exactly 400 times bigger than the moon is.
Right.
So that's how random this has to be for the eclipse to actually happen.
It's crazy.
And it's not going to happen more than like the next 15, 20 years. After that, everything will be out of whack because the moon is constantly moving further away from us.
The moon is only 400 times closer than the sun.
This is TikTok. I don't know if it's real.
I feel like it's closer to us than 400 times further than the sun.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
so
like
if you multiplied the distance of us to the moon by 400, you're saying that still wouldn't reach the sun?
That would be my guess. What's the moon is what, 230,000 miles away?
Yeah, I've no idea. I've never thought of it in those terms. I really, and by the way, when we're talking about distances, like going to Texas, like this past week, I may as well have been on the moon. Like my brain, when I'm in a different state, I feel like, whoa, wow, I left California behind ages ago. And when I explore new places, like especially if I have a week in a new place, I'm like, this is my new home. I better start acclimating. So the people in Dallas were like, why are you talking with that weird accent? I'm like, I don't know. I'm a New Yorker / Californian. And now I'm here in Texas trying to fake it. Sorry.
Let's see.
I might have said it wrong. So this guy at least is saying the sun is about 400 times farther away from us than the moon is.
Okay.
400 times.
And the sun is...
So you still said that right.
Yeah.
Okay, and the sun is about 400 times bigger than the moon is.
Got it.
So that's why they're able to line up. From our perspective.
Got it.
So that's why they're able to line up the way they are.
The sun would be 95.5 million miles away. Does that sound right? I guess that maybe sound right.
Yeah, sure.
How
yeah. I'm saying like, I don't know. That's about how far Texas is. So yeah, that makes sense.
How far away is the sun? 93 million miles. So that does equate. Nicely done, TikTok.
Okay, so TikTok's right. If you're looking up at the sky, they have special glasses, or I guess you could squint. I don't know.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
You shouldn't do
that.
No. Yeah.
No.
So you guys are like, when we go in the parking lot, if I'm not wearing the glasses, you're not going to let me look at the sun.
Cannot raw dog this.
I promise you, I'm going to cheat, and I will look at the sun with my bare eyes.
It's I've done this before. And you can't really tell other than it's a little dimmer. that, you know, I mean, but you can't really see the eclipse just looking at it with your bare eyes.
Didn't Trump do it a couple years ago and people got all crazy about it?
He wore the glasses, didn't he?
No,
Did
I
he
thought
take them off and
looked-
take a peek?
I thought he looked straight at it.
Yeah,
And the
maybe.
internet like lit him on fire.
This is my problem is I'm too curious. So I know what's going to happen. I know when we're at 11:11, which is supposed to be our Southern California peak time to see.
I thought it was 10:55. Oh,
11, or actually, I don't know.
Oh,
Again,
okay, all right.
I'm trusting the internet
Yeah,
again.
look, we'll go out there at 10 o'clock and we'll just sit there till 4 or 5 and we'll see what happens.
we'll sit out there until we head to the whiskey. But I know what's going to happen to me. You guys are going to be like, well, that's it. Like, this is as much coverage as going to be. We're all going to be looking with the glasses, and then I'm going to pull the glasses down. I'm going to be like,
Probably okay for a second.
Peter,
Prolonged eye exposure at the sun, not good.
not good.
Mm-mm.
People argue that tooth and claw.
That's right.
Okay, so we're having a little contest on the talkback feature. If you have the free iHeartRadio app, I suggest you use the talkback. It's a little microphone button. It sits right there next to the play button. So however you're listening to us, if you're not listening on the free iHeartRadio app, you can't win Brothers Osborne tickets today. We've got a pair of tickets to see the Brothers Osborne at Cal Coast Credit Union Amphitheater on May 29th. If you want to win it, you got to play a little karaoke. This is how it's done. Just tell us the song title and start belting out your favorite karaoke song. And if you are the winner, you're getting those tickets. We're going to be singing karaoke tonight. Maybe we'll choose one of your songs also.
Well, what are your guys' go-to karaoke songs?
We talked about it last week.
Yeah,
I'm a big Bon Jovi
Yeah,
guy.
I would go Bon Jovi right off the get go as well. But like if Rich went up and did Bon Jovi, maybe I'd go like Black Crowes or maybe even Dave Matthews. At Whiskey Girl, might go Toby Keith.
There's always
Whiskey
one person at a karaoke night that takes it a little too seriously. I think that might be Travis Dale. But I don't know yet. I haven't done karaoke with him. But the one person that usually is way too serious about it will always sing that song, I'm a creep. I'm a loser.
Is that you?
No, hell no.
Oh,
but there's always somebody who sings
that's
that.
gonna sing that.
And they think they're really good when they sing it, and it's usually really bad.
You know what? Here's the thing with karaoke. You got to pick like an upbeat song.
It's true.
I mean, come on, you're putting on a show.
Dude.
Putting on a show. Let's not bring it down.
I completely agree. Like,
Toby Keith has given me an idea. I might go courtesy of the red, white, and blue.
Why don't you go with She My Little Whiskey Girl?
tough song.
She
I don't know
My
that
Little Whiskey Girl.
The verses are weird because he's almost like sing talking at you.
Yeah, he is.
He's
Yeah.
like,
Don't my baby look good in them blue jeans tied on the top?
yeah, you should sing it. You get me fired up.
All Toby Keith tonight?
All Toby Keith all day.
I'll tell you what, this is, I mean, I know we sing it a lot on the show, but Friends in Low Places, Garth
Yeah,
Brooks.
I mean,
It is an anthem.
Yeah.
You want to get the party started?
no doubt.
You go a little Garth.
Yeah, and there's a lot of glasses raised
Yo,
during Friends in Low Places.
100%. Anyway, so we're going to be singing karaoke tonight. If you want to join us, Whiskey Girl, it's on the corner of 5th and G downtown in the Gas Lamp. They're going to have some tequila specials. They're going to have some ice cold beers, man.
That was ice cold. Ice cold.
Ice cold beers. What did I say?
Sounded like you slipped a donkey in there.
It's okay.
Somewhere.
Everybody's all right. Nobody's going to get hurt.
619, couple texts. The first one says interstellar math on the radio. Well, at least that doesn't happen very often.
Yep, you're welcome.
Different 619 number. If I rub sunblock on my eyes, can I look directly at the eclipse?
Well, nobody said no.
Yes, I heard that on TikTok as well, which is what I plan on doing today, guys. All right, so check this out.
The sun 8 light minutes away. So if the sun burnt out, we wouldn't know for 8 minutes.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't that weird? Yeah, it's just like when I was in Texas. It felt like the sun rose a little bit earlier than it did out here. It really did. Anyways, you guys. So while we were away from the microphones over the weekend, we got more Stefan Diggs news. So he gets traded for a second rounder, a fifth, and a sixth from the Bills to the Texans. So the Bills get draft pick compensation. The Texans get 1 year with Stefan Diggs. They lopped off the back half of his contract. He's on a 1 year deal. He's earning over $22 million. And they even like kind of goosed his paycheck this season. They moved up a bonus. So he's getting compensated extremely well. He's going to be a free agent in 2025. And he got out of Buffalo, which it appeared like he wanted to get out. So you're thinking, okay, story's over. Everybody's good now. No. So now all of a sudden this news is flooding out. So the Bills reportedly did not allow Stephon Diggs to speak to the Chiefs at all during the trade conversation.
Bills, you are an MVP for that one. Could you imagine Stephon? Maybe it would have gone terribly. Maybe he and Patrick Mahomes wouldn't have got along.
Yeah.
Like he and Josh Allen didn't get along.
He would have been like the Trojan horse heading into Kansas City just to eat them away from the inside.
Oh my gosh. You just reminded me of the old commercials, the condom commercials. Trojan man. And then all of a sudden you'd hear I don't know why that popped into my head.
That would be Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
What?
Or Drake.
Apparently Drake.
Yeah.
No
That'll
problem.
happen.
No problem there.
Yeah, so he's that would be absolutely hysterical. Like if he actually forced his way out of Buffalo to somehow sink the Chiefs battleship.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
He was like, turns out I'm a double agent.
Would have been way cooler. But I'm glad he's not a Chief.
Also turns out that, I mean, and I would imagine this is true with any team, that the Chiefs are the most feared.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, if you're in the AFC, this makes perfect sense. Nobody wants to make the Chiefs any better. Everybody's battling the Chiefs on the AFC side. Everybody in the NFL is competing with the Chiefs. Then there's this other little news blip. Apparently, week 1, when the Bills lost to the Jets, there was a little bit of a scuttlebutt between Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, where apparently Josh Allen snapped at Stephon Diggs.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, I mean, that chilled me to my bones.
Did he say some mean words?
I think he said mean things.
So nobody knows what Stephon Diggs said, but apparently Josh Allen whipped his head around and said, "It's one effing game."
Wow.
Geez, I can't believe Stephon Diggs was able to perform under that level of scrutiny and pressure. I mean, for somebody to snap at him like that after a loss.
Do you think he went to HR and they reprimanded Josh Allen?
I think Josh Allen is, I'm going to say, he's bad.
Well,
bully.
And you know what? I don't want to use that B word, but he's a bully. You're right, Fletch. In fact,
whoa.
No, TD.
I mean, do we want to throw around words like that? Do we have to dump that?
TD, he's mean.
I got another word. It's a D word, and it's for Stephon Diggs.
What's that?
He's a diva, wide receiver. Shocker. They all are.
That was not the word I thought you were going with.
Rich, in your time playing, how often were wide receivers the most intolerable people in the locker room?
Every time.
Okay, yeah. It's not this huge secret. It's been throughout the course of NFL history. It's if you want to look at the one person on the team who's thinks a little more of himself, look to the wide receiver room.
It's so funny how all this news comes out. It's so petty. It's all coming from Stephon Diggs or his camp.
Yep.
It's all coming.
So the Stephon Diggs or Stephon Diggs camp came out and they're like, "Hey, let's leak a story."
Yeah.
They
Josh
wouldn't
Allen
let us go to the
said,
Chiefs. That's where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
Let's put a story that Josh Allen said, "Hey, it's one effing game," and he snapped at me. He snapped at me, and I was like, "Look, I don't know what's going on with you, but you're just not communicating well." And I can tell that there's something bothering you, and there's something weird going on. And listen, when you don't talk to me and then you talk to me like that, I know that something weird's going on, and I don't like it.
Listen, okay?
Let me see your phone.
Stephon, no. First of all, Stephon, stop. All I said was it's one effing game. Okay, that's all I said to you. And you know what? You blew it way out of proportion.
No.
Like you always do, Stephon.
No, this happens every time. Every time you snap at me, I know something's going on.
No, you know what? You know what's going on here? It's the same thing as last season, same thing as the season before. We have one bad moment, and you try to make it a whole thing, and it's getting really bad right now. Okay?
I'm done.
It's getting real. No,
I'm done.
Friday.
Yeah, it's a morning monologue. We do it every single day. We miss Saturday.
That got
and Sunday.
intense, guys.
Sorry, we were just.
I'm having PTSD.
2 Christmases.
Well, last year we only spent this much time with my family, and then we had it was supposed to be just dessert with your family, but the kids didn't get to bed on time. Remember?
Yeah. Remember when I was like, we need to leave by 7? It was 9:30, and I was looking at you like, what are we doing?
We're still doing, by the way, if our wives are listening, we're still just acting like Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen.
Nothing from home.
That's all. Yeah.
Home, work,
Yeah.
separate.
If you tuned in and you thought, oh my God, I think TD and Rich are going to get a divorce. Nope.
No,
Nope.
definitely not.
No.
No way. No
We're
hell.
gonna keep it together.
Richie, what do you got for us?
Okay, my monologue is everything you've heard about Texas boys is 100% true.
Oh my God, you saw one?
I saw everything. I saw all of the things. Everything.
You joined a cult.
Everything's bigger in Texas. I'm in a cult now. There are cacti and
Oh, man.
tumbleweeds.
Did you see any armadillo?
I went to a goddamn rodeo. I saw armadillo roadkill.
You did?
Dude, yeah.
But there
No
is
way.
one lie about Texas.
What is it?
That has continued over the years.
Mm, that it's
Whataburger
cool.
sucks.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness. Actually, yeah. I will completely derail the rest of my monologue to talk about that right now. So every single football player over the course of my career in college, in the NFL, who would come in the locker room and would be super excited when we had a Texas game on the schedule. We're going to Houston. We're going to play the Texans. Oh, I cannot wait to get a Whataburger. I'm like, what is the deal with Whataburger? I never had it before. I come out to the West Coast. I try In-N-Out Burger for the first time. By the way, I was blissfully unaware of In-N-Out Burger until I came out to the Rose Bowl. When I was with Penn State, we played USC. We actually had In-N-Out Burger cater one of our practices. So after practice, we got doubles animal style, and I was hooked. I was like, this is delicious. Anyways, fast forward to this past week. While I was in
In-N-Out
Dallas
last night, by the way.
Yeah, so they don't miss. They don't miss.
Yeah, sorry.
I go to Whataburger and I get like whatever their number 2 item on the menu is. It's like a jalapeno burger. I'm like, we're in Texas, put a little heat on there.
Yeah,
Sometimes I
right.
get the peppers at In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah.
It's on the secret menu. Anyway, so I take one bite into it. I'm like, oh, this is an inferior hamburger in every way, shape, and form.
It's not good. When I was in Texas for that bachelor party, it was after like a night of heavy drinking. You would think like it was set up perfectly for Whataburger to be amazing. I asked the person there, I was like, if I'm from out of town and I want the Whataburger that everyone always talks about, what should I get off the menu? And she was like, I got you. And I was so excited for this thing. And it comes out and I took one bite and I was like, this is the worst burger I've ever had.
Did it have chili on it?
I don't remember.
Okay, because I went
so
to Whataburger a couple years ago out in New Mexico. First time I tried Whataburger, same thing. Like, oh, you got to get to this place.
Got to do it.
So I did the same deal. I roll in and I'm like, so I guess I should just go with like the normal cheeseburger because I feel like I want to compare apples to apples with what's going on out in SoCal with In-N-Out. And then the woman at the counter is like, well, you have to get the Whataburger, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right. So it has chili on it. So I have a normal cheeseburger and I have a chili one. Chili one tasted like Wiener Schnitzel. That's all I'm saying. It tastes like Wiener Schnitzel, which I do like Wiener Schnitzel. However, if you're talking top tier fast food, it's not Wiener Schnitzel.
Listen, all I have to say is, I mean, the rodeo was awesome. I got a cowboy hat, like an authentic cowboy hat.
God, it looks so good on you.
Hell, I'm going to wear that tonight at the Whiskey Girl.
Yeah.
We're going to be singing a little country anyways. Why not? Why not, fellers? Look, it was great. The whole visit was great, but that is one place where Texas can't compete. Whataburger.
Mhm.
What's going on with you? That's it. That's my monologue today.
Nicely done. You want to go? You want me to go?
I can go. It'll be quick.
Yeah, mine's not going to be long either.
Okay,
but
I've seen a lot of hate on the internet, and I don't like using that word, the H word. It's a no-no word. But a lot of hate being directed at the fine people over at Amazon Prime for a movie that they released with Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor and Post Malone and a couple other people. It's called Roadhouse, and it's brand new, and it's on Amazon Prime, and it's the first I've ever heard of a movie with that name. But it is fun. It is
Roadhouse?
electric. It is awesome action with a crappy storyline. I don't know what everyone was expecting, but the movie was exactly what I was expecting, and I thought it was freaking awesome. Like, if you've liked any Fast and the Furious movies throughout your life, you will love this movie. I'm not saying it's a good cinematic masterpiece, but it is fun. The girls are hot. Conor McGregor is a lunatic. Jake Gyllenhaal, I actually think, turns in a solid performance where he doesn't care too much about himself. And I thought the movie was incredible. Like, I understand if you were going in expecting this amazing flick that's like James Cameron quality, that's not what you're going to get. But why would you expect that out of this? It's goofy.
Is Jake Gyllenhaal Patrick Swayze's character?
No, I don't think there's any relation to the actual like Roadhouse movie other than it's a guy defending a bar from a local like drug cartel. But the only issue I think people really have with it is that it's named the same thing.
Oh,
Wait.
Wait.
Wait, what? It's not. It's got to be like the same movie.
Have you seen the original Roadhouse?
It's been years.
Okay. Yeah.
Just Patrick Swayze ripping people's throats out, right?
He was like a kung fu master.
Want me to tell you something crazy?
bouncer. Yeah.
Something crazy here.
Yeah.
So because you were in Texas, made me want to go to Texas. And then it's very odd. We did not talk about this, Fletch. You bring up Roadhouse this morning. I went to Texas Roadhouse over the weekend.
Did you get the honey butter?
You're damn right.
Where's the original Roadhouse movie set?
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because this is in Florida.
Maybe Louisiana.
It's in Florida. I feel like it's not Florida.
No,
Hang on, let's see.
So, like I said, it's like the movie. Like I don't even think it gives any
It's
nods. to
Missouri.
Missouri. That's it. Yeah,
But it's just
Louisiana, close.
dude, it's fun. And it's like you never have a second to think about how bad it is because it's always constantly on to the next action scene. And it's a lot of UFC style fighting throughout the whole movie. Like that's kind of how they build this thing up.
Yeah.
It's badass. Like the final fight scene between Conor McGregor and Jake Gyllenhaal is literally like they're doing UFC moves in the middle of this epic fight to the death. And it's awesome.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is the only good review I've heard from Roadhouse.
It's fun.
I'm just saying.
This is the reason why I don't usually trust Fletch's recommendations because
just go in with the right mindset and you'll
Fast
love
the
it.
Furious 7. It's like they finally start to dial it in.
No, 7's where it starts going off the
It's
deep end.
F and F in outer space. It's awesome.
They are racing rockets.
Fast and Furious really, they had me until about 7. Once 7 hit, it started to get a little too much.
Shit, I think they jumped the shark.
Literally.
Did they actually?
I think at one point there was something in the water.
Good. Mine'll be real quick here. Why does it feel like every 6 months we're told there's a solar eclipse we're not going to see for 2 decades?
I know. Yeah. Well, that's a good point. Yeah,
That's a great point.
This happens. It feels like this happens every like 2 or 3 years or so.
Yeah. So apparently this is a really big deal because it passes over a lot of major cities, which, I mean, I've been in a major city every single time the solar eclipse has passed over us. And I know I bought these glasses back in 2017.
I think
when
that's
there was
right.
a
Yeah.
solar eclipse, and then there was literally one like 6 months ago.
You know, there's people who like legitimately will follow the solar eclipses. Like my mother-in-law is traveling to one of the cities today where it'll be most visible.
Is it New York City?
I don't know.
There's a plane full of Southwest passengers yesterday where a flight attendant took a picture of a plane. So she announced on the overhead, she was like, so who here is flying to Arkansas or whatever to see the solar eclipse? Literally every hand in the plane goes out.
Wow.
She took a picture. She couldn't believe it. And she posted on social. And it was like, I guess there are people like,
the way to make it fun is you go and tailgate in a park somewhere.
Yeah, but the eclipse, I mean, as it's covering the sun, lasts like 3 minutes total.
Right, but you go out, you have like a Bluetooth speaker set up, you got a little trigger going, you start like 6 hours before the thing,
And
you
you
get
only
hammered drunk,
listen-
and you just wait for the eclipse to happen, and then you all cheer.
Total Eclipse of the Heart is the only song you listen to.
I listened
the
to
entire
that
time.
this morning. I listened to that song this morning.
I mean, I don't know. Every eclipse I've seen, I put on the glasses and go, cool.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And today will be no different.
Speaking of which, iHeartRadio just sent me a push notification. Your Eclipse viewing party playlist is here. Listen now.
It's Total Eclipse in the Heart. Click on it.
It's a guarantee. It's a guarantee.
There's only one song on the playlist.
We're gonna check on that. Can I tell you guys something that's really it's really let's put it this way. Things are eclipsing many parts of my life.
Total Eclipse of the Heart, first song.
There it is, of course.
Right.
Like for example, this testosterone treatment I've been receiving from the Man Zone or
Right.
like Golden Triangle
Right.
Plastic Surgery. Let's just put it this way. I'm blocking out a lot more light than I used to. Wink. Yeah. You're welcome, America. Look, Golden Triangle Plastic Surgery, the Man Zone, their medical director, Dr. Roy David, is a double board certified plastic surgeon. So you say to yourself, like, isn't he busy enough, doing hair transplants for men and augmentations of other sorts? Like, doesn't he have enough on his plate? The answer is no. He's interested in men's health. He wants to help men optimize their health. And he's helped me. I didn't even think I was going to be a candidate for testosterone. I was just feeling like low energy, lethargic. I would wake up in the morning feeling exhausted. I had brain fog. I had things that I thought were attributed to other aspects of my life, like maybe I didn't get enough sleep last night, or I don't know, maybe I'm just getting a little bit older and it's harder to motivate yourself to get to the gym. The body aches and pains. That just comes with being a former NFL guy. Nope. A lot of it was attributed to the fact that I had lower on the average range. I was on the lower side. So your range is typically between, I think it's supposed to be between like 250 and 1000 milligrams of testosterone running through your bloodstream. And I had like sub 300. Those numbers are low. And so I went in with the expectation of them saying, nah, everything, coast is clear. Move on with your life. Go figure it out. It's something else. Meanwhile, I was low on testosterone. The treatment has helped me amazing results. I've been higher energy. I've been working out more. I've been feeling better waking up in the morning. If you, like me, you feel sluggish in your life, you feel like you have that brain fog and you want to get through it. Start your opportunity at Golden Triangle Plastic Surgery, the Man Zone, with Dr. Roy David. He'll check your testosterone, make sure your levels are right. This is something you should do every single year. If you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, I started doing it in my late 30s, so don't be ashamed. Go in there and get checked today. You could start your journey at themanzone.com. Again, that website is themanzone.com.
Some shocking news out of college basketball. We'll get to it next.
This update is presented by Staples Store. Starting off with Padres' tough weekend. They dropped 2 out of 3 to the Giants in San Francisco yesterday. Padres had the lead in the 8th inning before a Hassan Kim error. Padres head back home today. They got a 3-game series with the Chicago Cubs. College hoops, it's all leading to this. Tonight, the national championship game between UConn and Purdue at 6:20. You can join us down at Whiskey Girl tonight in the Gas Lamp. We got the game on, singing karaoke, giving out some prizes. Come on down and join us. And in golf, Tiger Woods is back. His eyes are set on another green jacket as he gets ready for the Masters, which tees off this Thursday at Augusta. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward, like banners, flyers, signs, and catalogs, even same day. And now at Staples, save $50 on your print purchase of $150 or more. Offer ends 6/1. Visit staples.com/print for details. Staples, your local print and marketing experts.
Big Rashidi Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. Big day. Big happenings, including some Lakeside Rodeo tickets. Thursday, April 25th, the 60th annual Lakeside Rodeo. Going to be happening. That happens the 25th through the 28th of April at the Lakeside Rodeo grounds. Bull riding, steer wrestling. Exciting events all weekend long. Get tickets at lakesiderodeo.com or just keep listening. We're going to have those to give away very, very shortly. You're not going to want to go anywhere. We also have a pair of tickets to go see the Brothers Osborne at Cal Coast Credit Union Amphitheater May 29th. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. Or if you'd like to win them, on the Talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. If you don't have the free iHeartRadio app, go ahead and download that. It's free. And then listen to us via the stream, and you'll see a little microphone on the lower right-hand side. Tap that, and then send us your best karaoke. And then we're going to choose the winner here. And it doesn't have to be Brothers Osborne. It can be your go-to karaoke song. And then once we decide the top 3, we'll play them on air here, and then we'll choose the winner who's going to see Brothers Osborne.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Going to be a lot of fun tonight also at the Whiskey Girl. We're going to be showing up. We have some college basketball to watch tonight. So if you're interested in watching the college basketball game with us tonight, we're going to have a little viewing party downtown. It's going to be on the corner of 5th and G.
It's like the last college basketball game.
You could argue it's going to be the last one in a while. I would argue that as well.
20 years, like the solar eclipse.
That's right. You got to wear your glasses while we're at the Whiskey Girl. They got some great specials, beers, tequila. We're going to be there. We're going to be singing some karaoke. That's what gave us the idea to give away the Brothers Osborne by just clicking that talkback feature and singing some karaoke to us this morning. We'll have a little competition later in the show. You guys, I mean, we talk about a lot of things like Stephon Diggs going to Houston Texans. Like that's a huge landscape shifting football note that came down last week. John Calipari going to Arkansas is insane.
Huge.
I mean, that is absolutely insane. He's going, I mean, so he stays in the SEC. This means that the Razorbacks are all of a sudden on the map again.
That's cool.
I'm honestly more surprised he's going to Arkansas than I would have been had he just retired from basketball altogether.
What was it, a situation he wasn't happy, you think, or was it just more money offered to him?
So here's with Kentucky, it's like they were long-standing blue bloods forever. Like they were a staple in the Sweet 16. They were going to be in contention for the national championship every single year for a long time under Calipari. And then the last few years, something has shifted. Like all of a sudden, Kentucky has been an early out in, I think, 4 straight NCAA tournaments. And one time within the last 6 or 7 years, they didn't even make the tournament at all. So Calipari all of a sudden is like looking around like, this is not the Kentucky that I grew, that I built. And now he's looking, and Kentucky's looking like, do we have the right guy at head coach? Which is weird because he's been such a staple. And so I think it was time for the parting of the ways. I think people expected next year to be his final year with Kentucky. And I would assume he and the organization, the university, came to some sort of agreement where it's like, guys, look, obviously this relationship is soiled. Obviously we need to move on. Kentucky, you need to start looking for your next guy. And so Arkansas, though, is the surprise to me because he's staying in a situation where he's going to be playing against Kentucky all the time.
Yeah, if you have a seafood allergy, by the way, you could soil yourself with enough calamari.
It's Calipari. You know what you have.
You don't even have to ask.
Yeah, it's time. Yeah, I can't believe it would do that. Actually, I can. It's very believable. Yeah, look, here's the reality. I think that the one and done feature of college basketball really aided him building a program in Kentucky that could be routine winners in the regular season, at very least guarantee him tournament access. But over the past couple of years with the transfer portal and name, image, and likeness, everything's changed. So there's not as much of these one and done athletes coming into Kentucky and then blown out of there for their NBA aspirations anymore. There are guys who are going to other programs. They're playing longer. They're earning money now. And he hasn't adjusted well with those times. And I think the writing was on the wall. The fan base in Kentucky started complaining about Calipari, and he wanted to get fired. He wanted out. They, I think, in turn also wanted him out. So this was really a mutually, it sort of felt like Bill Belichick with the Patriots.
Yeah. I wonder how much Arkansas had to pay Kentucky, because he was still under contract with the Wildcats.
Yeah.
It had to be a lot.
I would imagine so. I would imagine so.
But you think about like Boogie Cousins, Anthony Davis, Devin Booker, like some of the stars of the NBA over the last decade all went through John Calipari.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, when you look at the athletes or the basketball players that he had at the Kentucky program over his run as head coach there, it's ridiculous. I saw on Instagram.
John Wall, Anthony Davis, Devin Booker, Karl Anthony Towns, De'Aaron Fox, who's a stud right now in the NBA, Boogie Cousins, like I just mentioned, Jamal Mashburn. The list goes on. And it's been star after star after star goes to Kentucky for 1 year, and then they go to the pros. And a lot of like Roy Williams and Mike Krzyzewski really couldn't stand Calipari for a while because of the one and done nature of his program.
Yep. And again, that's something that both UNC and Duke had to transition to. They had to start doing it also. And Krzyzewski, he was honest about it. He's like, I hate this. He was like, this isn't team building. He goes, this is hiring a mercenary. And he would be very honest about his feelings on the current state of college basketball. And then when it shifted further, when it became all about like how much money his players going to earn, how much starting time they were going to get, all that stuff, just like Nick Saban, he was like, that's it, I'm out.
Yeah, think about Roy Williams and Mike Krzyzewski, the two names we just mentioned, the UNC and Duke head coaches. Neither of them are head coaches anymore. And they were both getting older, but they were both kind of at the point where like I could have seen them still coaching had NIL not been a thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's this is a new chapter in college sports. So when you have some of the old dogs there, they don't want to change.
Which is why I'm surprised that Calipari didn't just retire with all of this, that he's going to start anew at a program that obviously has not had the same level of success as a Kentucky over the years.
Money talks.
Yeah, I'm going to say,
I want to know what
money
they
talks.
It's going to be big mounts of money, mountains and mountains of money. Like, for example, Jerry Jones, who's an Arkansas alumni, he was a part of the booster group who helped lure Calipari from Kentucky to their SEC rival, Arkansas. I'm guessing Jerry Jones was involved because Jerry Jones is one of the richest human beings on the planet, you know?
Right.
So I'm guessing money had something to do with it. Last big paycheck.
To be slightly less than the $8.5 million per year he's making at Kentucky.
Yeah, but that's the money on the books.
Right.
I'm very curious about the money off the books. Like, because we all hear about contract amounts. People get paid under the table too.
Mm-hmm.
And we know what, like, for example, Lincoln Riley, when he took the job going from Oklahoma to USC, they bought him 2 houses.
And a jet.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is that, all of a sudden you have a place to live. Yeah, just here, we'll hand it to you.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting to see the full details there. Also, it's going to be very interesting to see the Masters this year. So Tiger Woods in Augusta, is it possible? Could it be? Could it happen?
I'm so excited.
We'll discuss coming up next. Hey, it's Rich here. I want to talk to you about my dentist, my doctor, Dr. Jordan Colby over at Ocean View Dental. If you're looking for, and I mean this when I say this, world-class dentistry, where all procedures are done in the same office with state-of-the-art technology, look no further than my dentist, my doctor, Dr. Jordan Colby of Ocean View Dental. So just to give you an idea of how advanced the equipment they're using over there, through the NFL, I just had this full comprehensive health panel done this weekend. And they look at everything, your heart, your orthopedic stuff, like your teeth even. And they're using this piece of equipment. And I was saying to the guy, I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, I've seen this at my dentist's office. He was like, what? He was like, your dentist has this? I was like, yeah. They take like a whole 3D scan of your entire mouth and all of your teeth. He was like, wait, so does he do all of like the crowns in the same office? I go, oh, yeah. I was like, they did implants, like these 3 teeth are fake. Like these are implants. And he was like, oh, wow. He was like, so he has this tool. I was like, that very tool that you're using, that's what he has. He was stunned. And that's the type of technology you're going to receive at Ocean View Dental. You're going to get the top of the line treatment. People from all over Southern California come to Ocean View Dental to have their dentistry done with Dr. Jordan Colby. People come and train at Ocean View Dental, other dentists, other practitioners in the field to learn his tactics and his techniques. It's unbelievable. It's the best dentist I've ever been to. I know this sounds ridiculous. Like I'm lauding my dentist. Nobody likes going to the dentist. I do. And so will you if you go to Ocean View Dental. So if you have major dental work coming up, or if you're just going in for a routine cleaning, or if you're going in to have a cavity done, or you got a root canal coming up and you don't want to have like a million different appointments, you got to get the imaging done over here. And then you got to go to this office to meet with somebody and it's a consultation. And then you got to go to this place and they're actually going to do the root canal. And then you got to go to the next place to get the crown fitting. It's a nightmare. Everything is done in the same office with Ocean View Dental. Check them out at oceanviewdental.net. That's oceanviewdental.net. Fletch here, San Diego Sports 760. We're going to be at Whiskey Girl tonight for our college basketball viewing party. So if you're going to be looking for a place to watch the game, you're going to want to meet us at the corner of 5th and G in the historic Gaslamp District downtown. We're going to be partying. We're going to have great giveaways. 5 4-packs of tickets to the San Diego Gulls for their fan appreciation night. That's coming up this month as well. Super excited to be out. We're going to be singing karaoke as well.
And there's a baseball game going down in the Gaslamp tonight too. So if you want to come hang out for that also, we're not judging.
We're not judging.
Yeah.
Why not? No. And by the way, we're huge in Chicago. We see the metrics on social media.
I think the Cubs came here because we're going to be downtown.
You're damn right they did. They were like, wait, what? Rich Fletcher. They're going to Whiskey Girl?
We love them.
We better get there before they leave. Sorry, Cubs.
We have had multiple videos
like a morning show
infiltrate the campus of Northwestern, I feel like, because Chicago, for whatever reason, was responsible for like 70% of several of our videos.
I said it all along. We're huge in Illinois because we don't pronounce the S. We refuse to.
Yep.
Because we're polished.
That's right. That's right.
Anyways, look, here's the deal. When we go downtown and we crush the karaoke,
it'll be talked about for decades. It'll be talked about like after the next solar eclipse.
People will be like, my gosh, like they are the Tiger Woods of karaoke. That's what they are. They're paving a new trail for all other karaoke singers after them.
And they're 100% abstinent.
That's right.
Yeah.
Those are virgins.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen, like, that's how Tiger Woods is preparing for this Masters run?
Yeah. Why?
He's abstaining from sex.
But I mean,
Dude,
why is a great question.
Tiger Woods, this ain't his bag.
When he was at his peak of his career, he was literally sleeping with everyone.
yeah, like Tiger, I hate to like rain on your parade. Cool, man. Like totally into whatever you want to. That's great. But like when you were having the sex, you were having all the success.
Right. Also, I mean, because of that, because of Tiger's past, you would think that while golfing and being abstinent, he would only be thinking about the sex. I mean, like, that's it. 100%. No golf.
This is his 24th consecutive master. If he makes the cut, it'll be his 24th consecutive Masters where he makes the cut, which
That'd
is
be a new record.
never been done before.
See, even like bad Tiger, which we've seen over the last few years, is still making the cut at Augusta.
Which is insane. Well, and it also goes back to like when you're on tour and you're a winner and you get like the lifelong exemption to the Masters where you can play, once you win it, you can play for the rest of your career, for the rest of your life.
Which is why like 80-year-old Freddie Couples is still out there hitting out of bunkers at Augusta.
You have the advantage, I should say, of knowing the course better than most of the field. So there is that. However, like I said, like Tiger, man, like when you were on the prowl, like,
Right.
I mean,
that your name is Tiger.
yeah, like you were doing the thing. And then you were also winning. So I don't know if this is the best plan. Like, I don't know.
Get this man 88 mistresses and have him win this thing.
I'm so excited to see him on the course again.
It's going to be great.
I love Tiger, dude.
Can he go 18 here?
I don't know. There's a report that came out that said he shot like 5 under in a practice round on the front 9, which like that's vintage Tiger. If he can go out there and just compete and make the cut, I think that is all it takes for me to be completely back on the bandwagon. Not that I never got off. Like, I love Tiger Woods.
Well, we'll see. It tees off on Thursday from Augusta, and Tiger, he's going to. Let's just put it this way: he's going to be full. I would say.
Well, what are your guys?
By the way, let's say Tiger wins the thing, right?
Yeah.
And he's been abstaining
Copycat
this
league,
whole
man.
time. No, well, I wasn't saying that. I'm just saying what happens Sunday night. It's gonna be madness.
It's going to be raining in Georgia.
I hope he plays all 4 rounds. I hope it's not a withdrawal from Tiger like we've seen recently. I hope he can get through the entire tournament.
What was that?
You haven't seen that recently.
You mean like
he has not had to do that.
You mean like pulling out of the tournament?
That's what he's had to do.
Right,
Yep.
Right. Well, yeah, doesn't have to worry about that right now.
What are your guys' viewing habits going to be Saturday and Sunday? Like for me, I'll watch every second of the Masters Saturday and Sunday. You like won't get me off the couch even if I didn't have a broken leg. Like I will be watching all of Saturday, Sunday.
Sunday, I'm definitely dialed in. Saturday will probably be a casual watch. That's all.
Golf all weekend long.
Yeah.
Good man.
Yeah.
This is the one time of year you could say it and mean it.
Well, and also like Anne's family works in golf, and so I get the excuse, like I'll be like, I just want to check in on the tournament, and then like I can get sucked into it, and like and just be like, whoa, shh, hang on, Tiger's up, and she'll actually be like understanding.
Fake birds, by the way.
Oh yeah, they pipe in bird sound.
I'm actually the one.
Are you the guy?
Yeah, I do live fake birds.
You're the Foley artist who does the bird sound?
I also think for Bar Car
Just imagine
Friday,
just standing off to the side of Jim Nance is Travis with his hands folded behind his back, just going.
hello, friends. Welcome to the historic Butler Cabin right here in Augusta, Georgia. I think for Bar Car Friday, we should make the azaleas, which is like the drink that they have.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not that hard.
Tony.
Augusta released the recipe.
I like it.
I like it a lot
I like
too.
that.
Yeah, Tony Khan's are going to be back here on Friday, kicking bottle, 10 locations all throughout San Diego County. So if you want to get set up for the Masters, you go to cakeandbottle.com.
Looking forward to that. Looking forward to karaoke at Whiskey Girl tonight. We're going to be watching college basketball, some some baseball downtown as well. So if you want to join us, we're going to be doing all that. If you want to sing karaoke for a pair of tickets to Brothers Osborne, you just have to use the talkback feature. It's the little microphone button next to the play button. If you're listening to us on the free iHeartRadio app, you click that. You can leave us like a quick 30-second karaoke rendition of your favorite karaoke song.
We got a competition, boys. I'm listening to the other one right now.
Yes, they're coming in.
Keep them firing in.
Yep.
We're going to play the top 3 karaoke songs that we hear on the talkback feed for Brothers Amphitheater. Again, every time I go to
For you. This is the For You page.
this is so good.
I was just looking at that shirt and I thought, oh,
I'm still 2X, but all of a sudden, right now, a little more room in the
Yeah.
2X shirts these
no
days.
doubt.
Here's the reason why. SDFatLoss.com. Unbelievable. Wayne and Chloe, they helped me lose over 30 pounds. You may say to yourself, oh, yeah, but how long did it take you? It took me only 28 days. I remember after 28 days, it was about 4 weeks on the nose. I called up Wayne, or actually, no, I called up Chloe and I was like, hey, so I did it. I did exactly what you guys told me. I am down 30 pounds. She was like, good job. And I kind of felt like when you finish a 5K and you're talking to like a marathon runner, they're like, hey, good for you.
You're right.
Like, no, she was very supportive, but it was interesting. Like she knew what the results were going to be because she knows, Wayne and Chloe both know how good this program works. And we're here to tell you all about it. I've lost over 35 pounds. TD, he's down over 30. I mean, Fletch, he's damn near down 50 pounds since we started this adventure about 6 months ago. SDFatLoss.com, to put it simply, it works. So if you're on one of these fad diets where you lose a bunch of weight, you gain it all back, just stop it. And look, we've tried all of them. It stinks. It doesn't work. Try losing weight the natural way with SDFatLoss.com. That's SDFatLoss.com.
This update is presented by Evans Tires and Service. Walk in or book online at evanstire.com. Starting off this morning with the Padres. Tough weekend. They dropped 2 out of 3 to the Giants in San Fran. Padres heading back to San Diego today. They got a 3-game series starting with the Chicago Cubs. College hoops, it all leads to this. Tonight, the national championship game, UConn and Purdue at 6:20. You can join us down at Whiskey Girl tonight and the Gaslamp, where we're going to be watching the game, singing karaoke, and giving out some great prizes. Over in golf, Tiger Woods is back. The Azaleas are back. The Masters are back. This Thursday, it tees off at Augusta. Tiger will be in the field. Evans Tire and Service Centers in San Diego's is San Diego's choice for automotive service, from maintenance to tires and major repairs. Evans Tire and Service Centers is your one-stop shop with 17 locations. There's an Evans Tire near you. Walk-ins are welcome, or book online at evanstires.com.
Cam here. When I'm in San Diego, I'm always hanging out at San Diego Sports 760. With who? Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Whammy!
Yeah, happy Monday to those who celebrate. Happy national championship game. Well, I guess I should say on the women's side and the men's side, we have the results in. South Carolina as the champs on the women's side. We'll wait and we'll see what happens tonight between UConn and Purdue. Tip off at 6:20. You'll hear that action right here on San Diego Sports 760, the home of college basketball here in San Diego.
I got a guess for you.
What do you got?
The first half is going to be wicked close.
Okay.
It's going to look like Purdue is going to be able to hang. It's going to look like Purdue might be able to upset. Purdue might go into halftime with a lead. And then there's going to be about 12 minutes left in the game. And Dan Hurley and the UConn Huskies are going to come alive and go on a tear, maybe a 14-0 run, and end up winning the game by about 12.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
That
sounds probable.
Yeah. It's been that way for the past 2, maybe 3 games. Actually, yeah, Sweet 16, Elite 8.
Been that way for the last 2 years.
Final 4. No, they had a blowout win over Stetson. They handled business against Northwestern. And then it got tougher. Then once they got to the Aztecs, that was a close game at halftime.
Although
no 30-point win.
Nobody scored over 58 points against them until Alabama.
Yeah.
They put up 72.
It's been more than 2 years now since UConn won a game in March Madness by less than 10 points.
What was crazy about that Alabama game? No, was it Alabama or was it?
They played Alabama this weekend in the Final Four.
No, it wasn't Alabama then. It was their Elite 8 game against who? Why am I blanking on who they played in the Elite 8? But that was a close game also, and they ended up going on a 30-0 run.
Illinois,
that's right.
Yeah.
Against the best offense in college basketball this year. They held them scoreless while they scored 30.
The game was tied 23-23, and then it was 53-23.
Right. And if you were watching the game during that 30-0 run, it was 50 real-time minutes before Illinois scored again.
So, look, to put it mildly, UConn's a complete team. There's no weakness. At least there's no perceivable weakness. Things happen. Look, they've had slow starts. We've talked about that just now. I mean, what it looked like against the Aztecs, what it looked like against the Illini, what it looked like against the Crimson Tide, but they find a way in the second half. So, yeah, this is either going to be a complete blowout from the opening tip, wire-to-wire win for UConn, or it's going to be a close game at the half. They'll make their adjustments like they seemingly always do, and they're going to win by a large margin. If it's a close game at all, like if it's going to be, say, I don't know, like a 78-75 final score, I say it's going to be because Purdue won.
And that would be a Purdue win, by the way. If it's close at the end, if it's a 3 or 4 point game, I think Purdue wins this game because UConn has not played in close games. Like, they just don't do it. Within the final minutes, it hasn't mattered. UConn's been able to put in the subs within the last 2 minutes in pretty much every single game of the tournament.
Yeah, maybe. I don't see any route here other than a UConn meltdown that Purdue takes this win. I mean, they're just that good.
UConn had their bad game, by the way. They were not good against Alabama in the first half and really in most of the second half until the last few minutes. Cam Spencer had his worst game by far of this entire tournament, really of the last 2 years, and he's their point guard who's just been a stud for them. He couldn't make a shot. He was turning the ball over, super uncharacteristic. Donovan Clingan, who's their 7'2 center, he was really dysfunctional through the first 3 quarters of the game, I would say, and he's injured. He has a wrist injury that he was dealing with, and then all of a sudden, late in the second half, both those guys just come alive, and the offense just clicks into a rhythm. Everyone's making threes. All of a sudden, UConn just runs away with it.
Yeah, they have shooters. Look, they can play in the paint. Obviously, Clingan is a monster down low, but they also have wing shooters who, when they get hot, it's really unlike anything we've seen in college basketball over a 2-year run. They've been so dominant. They are so complete. Defensively, also, we talk offense in all sports a lot, but defensively, they can run you off the three-point line. If you're the type of team that does want to shoot three-pointers, they can bang with you in the paint because they have the bigs to do it. They are so complete. And they're a hustle team too. Like, you would think with all the success, maybe they'd be complacent. They're not. This team's well conditioned.
They're so cocky.
Oh, and they know it. They know they're good. It's fun. It's fun to watch if you're a UConn fan. It's kind of detestable to watch if you're a San Diego State fan. However, I said this last week and I mean it. Like, I am rooting for UConn to win it all this year, because if you're going to get beat, you might as well get beat by the best.
What stinks, though, is for me watching college basketball all year, these have been the two most unlikable teams all year long. And they're the two teams that are going to square off in the national championship game.
But sometimes they're unlikable because they're just so dominant. I mean, you just automatically go, what? It's never a game.
My genuine hope for tonight is that the referees don't get too involved, because you have two of the better big men in all of college basketball, period. Maybe the two best big men in Donovan Clingan and Zach Edey. If refs get involved and one of those guys has to go to the bench early in the first half with 2 fouls, it's going to be a much less watchable game. So my hope is that the officiating in the national championship game, there's no BS 25 feet away from the hoop foul calls on either one of these guys throughout this game, because if any of them get into foul trouble, the watchability goes down for fans.
Don't even need refs. Just send them home. Yeah. Let them play.
Yeah,
robots. Let them play. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, like swallow the whistle. National championship game, we shouldn't hear the whistle. Let them play. There's no question about it. Hey, by the way, we got a pair of tickets to Lakeside Rodeo for Thursday, April 25th. This is the 60th annual Lakeside Rodeo. It's coming up, like I said, later on in the month, and you're going to go. We're going to send you to the Lakeside Rodeo if you keep listening to this segment. So in about 5 minutes, we'll tell you how to win those tickets. Also, everybody out there who's listening to the show, you're in competition for these Brothers Osborne tickets, and we'll tell you how. So if you want to see the Brothers Osborne at Cal Coast Credit Union Amphitheater in May, all you have to do is click that little talkback button on the free iHeartRadio app. Send us you singing karaoke, your favorite karaoke song, whatever it is, whatever you belt out when you're at the bar and you're drunk and it's late. You're like, finally, I got the whiskey confidence to get up there and sing. Whatever it is, sing it to us. You're immediately enrolled in our competition to win the Brothers Osborne tickets, because we're singing karaoke tonight at the Whiskey Girl downtown. Right on the corner of G and 5th Street, 5th Avenue. If you want to see us there, join us for a little college basketball viewing action. Also, the Padres.
Yeah, the Padres will be playing as well. Real quick on the stream, I saw Paris weigh in. Paris, thinking everybody saw that your wife is having an MRI, so we hope everything's okay there.
Yeah, buddy.
And Paris was the first person to submit a song.
Good.
So why don't we play the first two here?
Wait. We're going to play.
We're going to play two. No. To tease everybody.
We'll save it for 8:30. We have a competition going on.
Oh, that's good. That's a good idea.
Then we need more people to do it.
What?
No, well, dude, that's okay. Listen, if we only have two, one of them's winning. Hey, listen, if you don't want to compete, you can't win Brothers Osborne tickets today. That's fair. It's fair.
Because the free iHeartRadio app it's in the name. It's free.
That's right. All you got to do is click that little microphone button and just sing your little heart out. I love it. I love this so much. Okay, so that's for the Brothers Osborne tickets. Again, keep listening for your opportunity to wear that pair of Lakeside Rodeo tickets. We got the Padres. They're hosting the Cubs tonight. It's going to be at Petco Park after another losing series. They lose to the Giants. They dropped to 5-7 on the year. Woof. What do we think, fellas? Season over? Should we wrap this one
done.
up?
I mean, I wouldn't bother playing the rest. There's only 150 more.
It's weird. I go through these peaks and valleys of what I'm encouraged about with this team. At the beginning of the season, it was the back half of the order really hitting the baseball, which was a surprise to me. And you're just kind of waiting for the front half of the order to catch up. But now it's like, well, pitching is pretty good for this Padres team. Like the Michael King and Matt Waldron had two really nice performances against the Giants.
Dylan Cease
has been good. And so you look through this pitching rotation, you're like, well, that's not really the problem right now. What's going on with the offense? Like, they gave up 3 earned runs against the Giants over the entire series and only got 1 win.
Yeah,
that's unacceptable.
I think that the mistakes happen at times, and sometimes when they do happen, there's a domino effect. You know, you'll see more that happen there. Sometimes I think the unearned runs are a buzzkill. a confidence killer of like, are you kidding me, man, that we just did that? And then it, permeates through the rest of the game.
Ha-Seong Kim, 7 errors all of last season while playing 3 different positions, bouncing around. He was a Gold Glove winner for utility man in the National League. This year, first 2 errors of the season, both happened in one game. Both of them end up being responsible for all 3 of the runs scored yesterday for the Giants.
I could see this, though, being, just a bad night for Ha-Seong Kim, and he'll bounce back from this, especially defensively. I mean, he's been so good in the field for the Padres that I'm not worried about Ha-Seong Kim's defense. I'm not really worried about much with the Padres. What I'm worried about is wins. Look, they same as last year. I feel like they have all the ingredients to win baseball games, but it's like any sport. Like Brian Dutcher talked about this all season long with the Aztecs, right? With the basketball team. He was like, we're just not hitting perimeter shots. He's like, we know we have the shooters. They got to see the basket. They got to see the ball go through the hoop. And he was like, and once that starts happening, maybe it'll become more contagious. Like this Padres team, they just need to learn how to win again.
Yeah, and I guess that's what concerns me is the fact that I had a idea of what this season was going to look like. And even though the pitching has been better than expected so far, the offense has not, and the record is pretty much what I expected. So I'm just a little bummed, a little let down. Well, we'll finish there with the Padres. They finished up a 3-game series up in San Fran yesterday. Didn't win yesterday or Friday, but they shut down the Giants on Saturday. Padres go 1-2 on the series. They're now 5-7 on the season. Cubbies in town today. First pitch 6:40 out at Petco Park. And downtown, will be downtown while they're playing, except we're going to be at the Whiskey Girl watching the Huskies take on the Boilermakers. And we won't just be watching the bar patrons. We'll also be watching the men's NCAA championship. UConn versus Purdue, 6:20 tip-off there. On the women's side of things, South Carolina beat Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes, 87-75. And in the NBA, the Clippers stretched out those Cavs, 120-118. The Mavs, Falcon 9, the Rockets, 147-136 in OT. Indiana, they are Mazda, the Heat, 117-115. Boston.
Huh? Wait, no, go back.
Indiana what?
Indiana de Armas?
Ana de Armas.
Whatever her name is.
Jesus. Swing and a
I
miss.
don't know how to say her name. I don't even know if I've heard her name before.
She's the newest James Bond girl.
I've just Googled her.
I bet you have, you perv.
Sicko.
Boston manned the Trailblazers, 124-107. Orlando by seed, the Bulls, 113-198. Not 198, just 98. The Raptors, the Wizards, a new one, 130-122. The Thundermatologist did the Hornets, 121-118. New Orleans on me, the Suns, 113-105. The Knicksers beat the pants off the Bucks, 122-109. It's fine. I didn't know. I was good with that.
Yeah.
Philadelphia lymph noded the Spurs.
They did.
Is that a cancer joke?
Yeah, apparently a Delphian lymph node.
What the hell is the matter with you?
Anyways, they beat the Spurs 133-126 in overtime. The Kings of Cocktails, Dale DeGroff, the Nets, 107-77. The Warrior Ortho Mattresses, the Jazz, 118-110. And the
God, it's fine. Yeah.
I don't even know what I wrote here.
No, it's fine. Just spit it on out.
The Timberwolves Garden, the Lakers, 127-117.
You think you're close to being done with NBA scores, TD? Like, you think like the season's almost done?
I got so many.
The final, like the last possible date of the NBA season this year would be June 23rd if the NBA finals went all the way to Game 7.
No worries. I got that. 2.5 months.
And as the field whittles down, there's going to be less and less teams. You're going to have to reuse names, especially once you get into these 7-game series.
I will be happy when the field whittles down and there's not 15 games a day.
Like say Say you get like a finals between like the Celtics and the Lakers. Just throwing those names out there, not predicting that.
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to come up with 7 days worth of Boston, Los Angeles?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no problem. I got that.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
It's a piece of cake. I'm a pro.
He's an absolute pro. It's gonna be fine.
Like tonight, are there any games? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think the NBA is clear.
I mean, like,
yeah. What are we gonna do for your halftime?
I'll talk about those Padres and the Cubs, and maybe a win.
The interest in what is college basketball going to do without Caitlin Clark? I mean, think about. I mean, college basketball. I'm not talking about women's college basketball. 14.2 million viewers, average audience for the UConn Iowa game in the Final Four. We don't even have the numbers back yet for the national championship game, which I don't know what it'll look like, because this was a noon tip-off on Sunday, which seems like a huge miss by whoever scheduled this, but whatever. Caitlin Clark, though, moves on to the WNBA. Is it possible for college basketball to capture the magic that was this season and what Iowa did and what Caitlin Clark specifically did? Or is this a kind of a one and done in itself? Like, is this going to fade and women's basketball is going to, simmer back down somewhere into the background of sports? And now we're going to just kind of get back to normal, where the men's game takes, front and center, and everybody cares less about the women's game.
My gut would say it simmers down. My gut would say that it does quiet down a bit. And how could it not? I mean, if Michael Jordan retired, less people are going to tune in, because you had so many people who were just curious to see what he was going to do.
Right.
You had so many people who were just curious to see, I want to watch the greatest to ever do it. And so Caitlin Clark out there breaking records, and she's making headlines. She's making news. Of course, people are going to tune in just out of curiosity and excitement to see someone do it better than we've seen in a long, long time.
Now, we have seen like women's college basketball stars before. I think of Maya Moore with the UConn team that went undefeated and won a national championship. Like, she was a legitimate star, and people were watching that national championship run. She went to the WNBA, and that's kind of the last you heard of her. I wonder if something similar happens with Caitlin Clark. Does she have the star power to raise up the entire league in the WNBA like she did with college basketball? I don't know the answer to that.
There was Diana Taurasi, there was Candace Parker. There were stars that came out of college basketball in the past, and when they got to the WNBA, the flame flickered out. And I'm not even talking about they had wonderful careers, all of them, in the WNBA, but I just mean in terms of the fame and the interest and the intrigue and what now, what's happening next. Maybe social media has changed things, right? Because you can follow Caitlin Clark, not just, at Iowa when you tune into the games on the broadcasts, but you can also follow her on social media. You can see, so maybe this cuts through differently. We've never really seen a women's college basketball star during the age of social media. Maybe that ushers in a new generation of sports interest in this game.
Well, right now, temperature check. The thought of Caitlin Clark going to the WNBA, does that make you go, I'm going to watch that?
I was more excited if she would have gone to the Big Three, Ice Cube's league, which he was offering her like $5 million to do instead of going to the WNBA.
Which, by the way, would have been, look, obviously she would never even consider it. It would have been such a big mistake for her to just take the money and run, because she would get dominated in the Big Three.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she's 6 foot, which, by the way, she towers over the majority of basketball players in women's college basketball.
Yeah.
I think the average height for a women's college basketball player is like 5'6". So, I mean, she's like not only an incredible shooter and a great ball handler and a great passer, because, by the way, she led the entirety of women's college basketball in assists as well, not just points. But she's a giant, like, compared to the rest of the players she's playing with.
Yeah.
So physically she's dominant, but she plays against men. It would just be lights
Toast.
out. Yeah.
They asked a bunch of, never mind, not important. But the three of us lost a lot of weight. That's important.
That is important.
You're damn right.
Yeah.
You're damn
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And I'll tell you what, specifically, Fletch lost the most.
Now he looks like Caitlin Clark.
Does he?
Do I?
Well, maybe not. Maybe not that trim yet.
No, not even. She's a stud.
But I mean, you look good in a bikini.
Go.
How did you do that? How did you earn a lap during an ad read? How does that happen?
Is this a first?
It's not even your ad read.
What?
Listen, Wayne and Chloe like it when I weigh in on you wearing women's bathing suits.
Well,
That's
maybe not
right.
women's bathing suits, but I am excited to start wearing men's bathing suits again. Like my swim trunks.
Or, but I mean, just like women's bottoms.
Okay, how about this? Just like a tankini, something
Ooh,
tasteful.
yeah.
That is supposed to take over in 2024. The tankini is back
Wait, for men or
No.
women?
for women, and you're still standing behind the microphone. I
What?
don't know why.
I just didn't know if you needed my help at all.
You go. I'll handle Wayne and Chloe at sdfatloss.com, which is where you need to go today. While Travis runs his lap, you can log on to sdfatloss.com and sign up for a free consultation by the time he gets back. It's that easy. It's that quick. Get on over to sdfatloss.com today. Start learning how you can change your life in the next 2 months. It legitimately is so quick. It's almost as fast as one is TD's laps, where you can start dropping weight with sdfatloss.com. If you don't know what we're talking about, the three of us signed up for this program, and we were all able to drop 20, 30 pounds within the first 2 months of our program with sdfatloss.com. And the reason why is because they build you out a roadmap that's custom tailored to you for you to drop a tremendous amount of weight in a very short amount of time. So if you're looking at the calendar and seeing some weddings that you have on the horizon, some pool parties that you have coming up this summer, and you want to be looking your best for it, well, there's no time to waste. Get on over to sdfatloss.com today. The first 2 days of the program, I will tell you, are freaking awesome. And then after that, it's when the work gets started, and the work gets started quick. And if you put in the work, you will be looking much, much better, and you'll feel much, much better, and your health will be better in the next 2 months. So get on over to sdfatloss.com today, sign up for the free consultation, talk to Wayne and Chloe, figure out how to get that roadmap set up, and start losing weight next week. sdfatloss.com.
All right, so the Lakeside Rodeo happening Thursday, April 25th, the 60th annual Lakeside Rodeo happening the 25th through the 28th of April, Lakeside Rodeo Grounds, bull riding, steer wrestling, exciting events all weekend long. You can buy tickets at lakesiderodeo.com, or you can be caller number 5 right now, 877-767-4760. Caller number 5 right now. You're going to Lakeside Rodeo, 877-767-4760.
This update is presented by EvansTire.com. Starting off with the Padres, tough weekend. They dropped 2 out of 3 to the Giants in San Fran yesterday. Padres had the lead in the 8th inning before a Hassan Kim error. Padres head back home today to start 3-game series with the Cubs. In college hoops, it all leads to this tonight. National championship game between UConn and Purdue at 6:20. Listen here on 760. If you want to watch it, come join us down in the gas lamp. We're going to be watching the game at Whiskey Girl, singing karaoke afterwards and giving out a bunch of prizes. Come on down and join us starting at 6. In golf, Tiger Woods is back. His eyes are set on another green jacket as he gets ready for the Masters, which will tee off this Thursday. Evans Tire and Service Centers is San Diego's choice for automotive service. From maintenance to tires and major repairs, Evans Tire and Service is your one-stop shop. With 17 locations, there's an Evans Tires near you. Walk-ins are welcome or book online at evanstires.com.
Tonight, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch will be downtown at the Whiskey Girl. How many pauses are there in this royalty-free music? Should have, let me know. What is this? That was it?
This is
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. San Diego Sports 760.
Drama, TD.
It was 17 seconds, and there was only 6 seconds of music. Anyways, we're going to be downtown, the Whiskey Girl, part of the Gas Lamp, 702 5th Avenue, 5th and G, right on the corner there. Plenty of food options for you. Bucket and draft beer specials, tequila specials, tons of prizes to give away. We got 5 4-packs of Goals tickets we're going to be giving away. Whiskey Girl also going to have a ton of prizes going to be given away during the game that we'll be watching. Whatever basketball game is on, that's the one we'll be watching.
Yeah, we like basketball, and that's what we plan on watching while we're there.
Then after that basketball game, we're going to do some karaoke. Meanwhile, we've asked you to send in your best karaoke if you want to win Brothers Osborne tickets. So we got a pair of tickets to go see Brothers Osborne, Calco's Credit Union Amphitheater, May 29th. Tickets and info, Ticketmaster.com. Or what you got? Oh, I thought you were laughing. I thought you were laughing.
No, I think he was yawning.
I yawned really hard.
Why are you yawning?
I'm sorry.
Because your read was boring.
No, your read was great. I'm struggling from hey y'all, I'm a little jet lag from my time in Texas.
That's right, man. All thrown off by how the sun comes up.
I tell you what, yeah, it's just it happens a little bit later here on the West Coast.
You got a hat. You get any boots?
I didn't get boots, and in fact,
Dumb move.
Yeah, that was a huge mistake on my part. I was going to get boots, and then Ann goes, "They sell boots like everywhere." I'm like, "No, but they're different in Texas." Boots. I was like, maybe I could get like ostrich skin or alligator skin boots, or maybe like
armadillo
snake skin boots.
Oh man,
I saw a rattlesnake skin on the wall at this general store in Fort Worth. I swear to God, I had it in my hands, and Ann was like, "Absolutely not! Put that down. What is that?"
We have one at home.
You have like a real snake skin?
He probably skinned the snake.
This is true.
Okay, hang on.
As a child.
Time out. I
was like 13.
Time out. What on earth? Okay, so what is the situation you find yourself in?
See, most people see a rattlesnake and they rightfully turn around and walk the other direction. CD sees a rattlesnake. He turns around and walks the other direction too, but you know what he's doing? He's going to get a snake stick.
Actually, this one, as a kid, it was in our yard, and we took a shovel and cut his head off.
The rattlesnake?
Yeah.
Who, you and Wayne?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lord, your brother
Wayne. And then like we put it up. We had a tree in the backyard that we used to skin animals, as well as like paint car parts.
Serial killer. I'm calling it.
So it hung up in the tree, and then skinned the rattlesnake, and then I literally there's 2 nails in a piece of pine that's holding it on there.
If I'm in my backyard and I see a rattlesnake, it is now the rattlesnake's backyard. I will never go out there again. TD did the same thing. He went in the house, but then he's like, well, just get my book knife. Got to get my book knife because I got a rattlesnake to skin.
You guys have one of the buck knives with the black and silver head?
I don't own a buck knife.
Oh.
There are no buck
knives.
knives.
Everybody owned one of these knives.
Okay, so listen. We'll get back to this because we're not done with you. Not by a long stretch. You have Oh boy. Okay.
You got some demons, man.
It's fine.
We got some
It's
stuff
fine.
to iron out with Travis. But before we get to that, we have to do this. So it's been promised all day long because we're going to go sing some karaoke tonight at Whiskey Girl. You can join us there for all the college basketball viewing. But we've also staged a competition today. Oh, there's a buck knife.
That knife. That everybody owns that knife.
I don't own that knife. Maybe I want it now.
I mean, I own that knife. sitting right in my
Let me see
dresser
that
drawer.
knife.
Yeah, check that. It's good. It's the handsome knife. Look at that.
I do own that knife.
See, you have that knife.
Our buddy Patrick Allen from Florida at one point sent everybody on 7-6 knives.
That's what I'm saying. Like that. Like if you're like, I need a buck knife. That's the knife.
That's the one you picture.
I do have that knife.
It's
See?
Crocodile Dundee.
Thank you. I had it in my car for a while, and Sarah was like, "What are you doing?"
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. You never know what's going to happen.
You never know when there's a rattlesnake. You might need a skin.
Hey.
All right.
Right. Pin his head down with this thing.
Brothers Osborne playing in San Diego in May. We have a pair of tickets to give away to a listener. We staged the competition. Since we're singing karaoke tonight, you can sing karaoke to win these tickets. We ask you to give us your karaoke song. Belt it out on the free iHeartRadio app on the Talkback feature. We have 3 contestants who are brave enough to send in their songs. Fletch, let's hear from contestant number 1. Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
that was a strong performance.
Wow. Yeah.
Nicely done.
Congratulations.
Listen, I mean, you get extra points for song choice.
Yeah, it was a strong song choice.
Right.
Strong song. I
Right.
don't know how many karaoke bars have that song queued up, but it is a strong choice.
He brings his own cassette.
Okay, well, the next one, I'm not sure it's an actual song.
Okay.
Like, I think he just freestyled.
Okay. Is it arable?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Contestant number 2.
Yeah. Dude.
The Humpty Dance is a chance to do the hump.
Oh,
Never heard of it.
baby.
Do the Humpty Hump.
And
Do the Humpty Hump.
You've never heard that song
How do you
before?
not know this?
Oh my God.
God, that was also strong song choice and great performance.
He killed it. He even did. I forget the name of the artist. Forgive me, but he even
Is
did.
it Humpty?
Yeah, but it's like a name.
It's like DJ something.
Yeah.
Dude, that was really good. He even did the voice. And he
Yeah,
does
you
have
got
a
it way down.
yeah. Who's the artist?
No, that's Humpty Dumpty.
I'm
not what I want.
Well, you guys figured that out. We got one more. Not sure who it's from. Not sure what the song is. Let's let it rip.
Turn around, bright eyes. Every now and then I turn on, and I need you more than ever. And I need you more than ever.
Wow.
That's total eclipse of the heart, dude.
Those are 3 of the strongest performances I've ever heard on karaoke before. Our work is cut out for us. Gentlemen, we go from My Ding-a-Ling to the Humpty Dance to total eclipse of the heart.
How
My
do we
vote goes
choose
to
a
3.
You go to Total Eclipse of the Heart?
Yeah, he nailed it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Wow.
And I appreciate
Golly.
him waiting for the turn around.
Yeah, no, it was nice weight on the backup singer. And he did go with the what's the name of the dude that sang in the
Yeah. It's the from
It's
old
Wedding
old
Singer?
school, yeah, old school.
No, it's from,
No, but it's the guy who's like the wedding singer in all those movies. He was in
Yes,
The
yes,
Hangover,
yes,
Old
yes.
But what was
School.
the name of the band?
They're-
The damn
they're-
band. The damn
the
band.
damn band.
The damn band.
I effing need you now tonight. Dude, I love that.
Ah, golly. I
But
mean,
the Humpty
literally,
dance, I mean, he crushed it.
I know.
And he started off by giving us a shout out.
What's crazy is when My Ding-a-Ling was sung, I thought there's no way that this is topped.
Now it feels like a distant third place. No offense, Paris.
Golly.
Jesus.
I mean, I don't
We'll
know.
take
I
the
mean,
commercial break. We'll chat about it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a
Yeah.
good idea.
Maybe
Well,
text line can vote a little bit, persuade us one way or the other.
great idea as well. So texters weigh in. Is it Humpty Dance? Is it Total Eclipse of the Heart? Is it My Ding-a-Ling? Who's going to win these Brothers Osborne tickets? We got Bottom of the Barrel coming up next as well. And we wrap this thing up. Big Receding Fletch.
All right. Before we run, though, I want to talk to everybody about something that I just did in the hallway.
I knew that was going to happen.
It was like 10 or 12 jumping jacks. It registered on the Richter scale. Things are going well. You catch my drift. The testosterone is raging through my body right now. Okay. I've been going to the man zone.
Rich walks around just punching walls.
Dude,
I mean, like fists right through the wall.
if I turn around too fast these days, I'm clearing countertops. It's crazy. I'm getting yelled at home. Although we have a lot more towel rack space now, which is cool. Look, the point is, guys, Fletch just whispered something in my ear. I will not repeat it. But what I will do is I'll repeat until the cows come home. You got to get to the man zone, okay? Themanzone.com, themanzone.com. Dr. Roy David, the medical director over there. He's also a board certified plastic surgeon, twice board certified. This guy is an incredible doctor, but he's also the practitioner who's going to be monitoring your testosterone levels. So you go in there, you get your T levels checked, and then if you're low, they're going to get you right. Here's the deal. A lot of guys don't understand this, but in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your testosterone is plummeting. It is scientifically proven. The averages start dropping off the map. It's a part of the aging process, but you could reverse that. You could optimize your health. You could feel stronger, look better, feel younger. You just have to go to the man zone. The Man Zone at Golden Triangle Plastic Surgery has been a game changer for me. So I'm 38 years old. I started with the Man Zone at the end of last year, and I am thrilled with the results so far. I was feeling unmotivated to get to the gym. I was feeling super sluggish waking up in the morning, super brain fog. I had no idea that was all attributed to a lower average testosterone level. But when I went in, I got tested, and I found out that I was in that low average range. I wanted to get optimized. So I started on testosterone replacement therapy, and I am singing the praises of the Man Zone as a result. So you need to go too. If you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, you should get tested, your T levels tested every single year as part of your annual physical. If you're in your 30s, your late 30s, it's not too early to check it out as well. That's themanzone.com, themanzone.com. Coming up next, we announced the winner of our karaoke contest for those Brothers Osborne tickets. Also, bottom of the barrel on the other side. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. Happy Monday to those who celebrate. A lot going on in this final segment. First and foremost, we're going to be at Whiskey Girl downtown tonight. We're going to watch a little college basketball. So if you want to join us, meet us down there. Hell yeah.
They can have banana bread too?
At work?
Hell yeah.
They do have really good food. I've been there a few times now.
Yeah, I have too. They crush it at Whiskey Girl, especially on a baseball night, which it is downtown. Plus, you got the college basketball game. So, corner of G Street and 5th will be there. We're going to sing a little karaoke. We'll bring the house down, which brings us back to the competition we just had. Brothers Osborne tickets on the line. Karaoke contest on the Talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. We've had 3 contestants. Fletch, do you have a drum roll? We need one so bad. That'll work. That'll work. And the winner of the Brothers Osborne tickets is oh my God. He crushed it.
The text line weighed in and said, we have no other choice than to choose Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Incredible rendition. Yeah. And like I said, I thought that would probably be the winner if we put it out to the fan vote.
Right.
And our listeners have spoken. Total Eclipse of the Heart. Tremendous performance. If you're listening right now, call Fletch at 877-767-4760. He'll get your info. We'll get you those Brothers Osborne tickets. What do we got for bottom of the barrel today?
Not to take away from the other 2 performers.
Oh, no.
You did an excellent job.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, that was not my winning vote, to be quite honest. It was
the
crazy.
closest race
Yeah,
I've
that
ever
was.
seen.
I was so torn there, but man, oh man, how about that? It is Eclipse happening today, so you want to make sure you have your Eclipse glasses before you stare at the sun at 11:11.
What are the chances the world ends today? Because
I mean,
of the
like
eclipse?
almost full certainty.
Well, actually, in ancient cultures,
Well, NASA's shooting stuff at the moon apparently when it
Well,
eclipses.
there's not really, I mean, they're just testing
not
things out.
at the moon.
They're testing things
just
out.
into the atmosphere. NASA's,
Right.
they're just launching stuff in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here. No big deal.
Apparently, besides, I mean, just we're talking moon here.
Yeah.
Apparently, fashion butt crack is back. I didn't even know this was a thing ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was with low-rise jeans. You
You mean
remember?
like the whale tail, like in the early
Yes.
2000s?
Remember, and like a lot of the ladies, they started not wearing any underwear at all, and then you would just see like kind of the crest of the butt
Oh.
cheeks out of the low-rise
Well,
jeans.
apparently that's a big thing again. It's coming back. Celebrities wearing these low-cut pants,
I'm not mad at it.
or I mean, just literal pants with with no ass at all. I mean, they're like assless chaps.
Dude, it's just the butt is
Yeah.
cut out.
Which-
Dude, actually, I like that look. And I'll tell you right
Like,
now,
I mean, when is it okay for guys?
ever since Apple Pay, I don't put a wallet in my back pocket. I have no use for my back pockets anymore.
I've noticed though that, I mean, since the women are wearing these in high fashion, I don't see a lot of dudes. If it were me, it'd be a lot of hair.
Just a couple of just glazed hams back there. All right, since Fletch is on the phone, TD, who do we thank today?
Well, we thank the hangers, the bangers, the roadies, the dogs. We thank you, Rich. We thank you, Fletch,
By
for
the way,
being back.
dogs, an important word to know.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
Tease.
it's a T. It's a T. Oh,
For something.
golly,
You don't
golly.
know what that's a tease
Yeah.
for.
That's right. We got to get out of here, though. Colin Coward and the Herd coming up next. We will see you tomorrow. Big Rich, CD, and Fletch.